Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sydney Dragway. Tonight, Wednesday night, is Race for Real, brought to you by Aeroflow Performance. And we have a very special diesel theme night for you tonight. So you will notice there is a lot of Forbies. There will be a lot of diesel-powered vehicles getting down the strip, trying to see what they can turn out, and it's usually good for a bit of entertainment. Bushy, wouldn't you say?
Well, it sure is, Pat. These guys are typically pretty good, and not putting any pressure on anybody. Typically pretty good at doing a big burnout too. They're not too scared to get in there and give it a crack, especially as the night gets dark and they get a few runs under the belt, and Stewie gets down there and stirs the pot a bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
A little bit of encouragement.
Yep.
As we can see,
as you can see right now, I think it's pretty rare that you would see a Rodeo snapping. I think that was third gear from memory. So I pray for the leaf spring hangers and bushes shaking around
and drive line in general.
Yeah, pretty much everything from the front to the back. I'm praying for that Rodeo. So let's see what the driver can dish up, yes. Get them back into stage.
Yeah, what they usually lack in, not always, but what they usually lack in ET, they make up in a bit of tyre smoke.
Yeah, or enthusiasm at the very least. That's for sure. So, yeah, we're definitely hoping that we've got plenty of diesel-powered drivers on the way through tonight. So, as you can see, we've got a Navara and a Rodeo getting on down the road. There was some more tyre spin from that Rodeo. Very aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not coming back as a clutch pack in that car.
Definitely not, mate.
Not a bad runner. 1577 with a 188 mile an hour through the top end.
That's right. We are going to have to adjust our I suppose expectations and what we're used to this evening, because
we have got Gold Rush here. That's true. That's a little bit out of the ordinary, I guess, in the sense that he's run into the low nines, I think, in that car so far.
Yep.
And, obviously a purpose-built race truck. A lot of the diesels and four-wheel drives we'll see out here tonight. Typically the recreational vehicle that you expect them to be, or even the work ute in some cases.
Absolutely. Plenty of work utes here tonight. Gold Rush is a bit of a special thing.
Yes.
Definitely. From memory, it's Cummins powered. It might be a 6BT powered Dodge Ram. Big compound turbo setup,
yes.
Of course. So, that's definitely going to be fairly exciting. I'm pretty sure they've got a bit of nitrous on that thing to spool up the compound setup. And
yep.
And it's a 5.7, is it? It's not a 6BT. Okay, so still a 5.7, as Benny said, but they are jamming all of the boost into that thing, so we can't wait to see it rolling cold down the strip tonight. But it's not just diesel vehicles here tonight.
No, it's a bit of a mix of everything, as we've come to expect from the Aeroflow Wednesday nights. There's a mix of all sorts of cars.
Definitely, we've got plenty of petrol-powered vehicles out here. I can't say I've seen any LPG or EVs yet.
No, but we do have the EVs come out every now and then, and some of them run very quickly, as you'd expect.
Yep. Absolutely, and I have seen a couple of nice looking things down there in lane 6, Bushy, which we always know is usually the spicy lane.
Yes, that is correct. And of course, we have the Pocket Rocket walking around downstairs. As always, if you see him walking around with the microphone, if you want to give a shout out to your workshop or the shop that's done work for you, or supplied parts, or reconditioned something, or whatever it might be. Grab him and have a bit of a chat about your car, and don't be scared to drop a few names.
Yeah, don't be afraid to give a shout out, especially when Stewie's down there. We love supporting and getting the name out there of anyone that's supporting races at the track.
Yes.
Getting out here and having fun in their vehicles. So if your business is all about getting cars out here to the track,
yep,
we want to know about it.
And of course tonight, as always, we are on the Sydney Dragway YouTube official page doing the live stream, so and also on Facebook. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah,
of course, don't be scared to throw a comment up on either of those platforms, and we'll do our best to respond. Typically, the YouTube one we have here in front of us.
The YouTube one's pretty good, but I'm going to keep the Facebook one on the phone in front of me tonight, Bushy, so I can see who's giving me a hard time out there. There's going to be a few. No, I welcome it. It's good.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're open to some stirring. Then.
Keeps me up at night because I'm not a fan of sleeping, so it's good.
So you just say a few controversial things and then
Yeah, why not?
bing, bing, bing,
Yeah,
bing.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Like we'll start up against AU Falcons again.
Oh, that worked last time. That worked pretty well last time. Yeah. Rusty at just like he said on the weekend. My name is Matt Kavanagh.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got a little bit of something happening with the runner in the aeroflow lane down here.
Yeah, stop means stop, go means go. So, to all our competitors, guys, when you do come out from underneath the tunnel, just make sure you keep your eye on Tara. She will guide you forward to tell you to say when you can do your burnout and when you need to stop. Okay, guys?
Yeah, spot on, Stewie. It's always really important to follow the track staff's instruction, mostly because when you're down the burnout box, or if you are just doing a burnout off your own bat, you may not understand that we're actually on the track. The track crew are cleaning up a spill. There might be a car stranded at the far end of the track, which you're not going to see. So please, at all times, just take notice of the track crew. They are there to make sure that you're A, safe,
Yes.
everyone else is safe, B, and C, you're going to have a great time.
100%. And of course, if it is your first time here at Sydney Dragway and you haven't competed on the racetrack before, don't be scared to ask any of us officials in the blue official shirts or anybody out in the staging lanes. A lot of people have been here before, but everybody has to have a first time at this. And of course, if you're not 100% sure how the staging procedure works or how the Christmas tree works or whatever it might be, don't be scared to ask a question. Most of the officials with the blue shirts on have run a car or two down the racetrack here, whether it be at a Christmas party or they've competed. We have a number of, like myself or Pat or Ben, Stewie, we've all run cars down the racetrack. Some are a little bit more successful than others, but it's all about getting out there and having track time. And we hope that everybody here tonight has a good time. Of course, if we do reach the required number of cars, there is a
Reaction time
challenge. Of course, we're looking for the best reaction time. Of course, a 000 is as good as you're going to get. That means you're leaving the start line at exactly the same time that the light goes green. Your reaction time does not affect your ET at the bottom end of the racetrack, so don't feel pressured that if you've cut like a 0.5 light that you've added that time onto your actual time that you run at the other end. That's not the case. We see on track now a 263 left by that very nice VK, I think it was.
Yeah, tidy as. VK's been out here quite a few times, Bushy. They they jumped into the 10s last time, I'm pretty sure. I think they might have just turned the nitrous on. And they've given the bottle a few extra cranks tonight. So, it looks pretty spicy rolling through for a 1040.
At only 96
At 96 mile per hour, that's pretty good.
We'd be looking for somewhere around, I reckon, with how early it was off the throttle, there's probably a 9.
Yeah, I think there's a 9 in that car for sure. So let's hope that they've got all that straightened out.
All right, the R33 Skyline about to come out, the RB26 on board this car. I did see a very nice looking Skyline yesterday when I was up in Waitara, up the tyre shop. It sounded very, very nice coming up the top of the ramp. But look, it's good to see the guys from Dan Automotive. They're here again tonight supporting Aeroflow Race for Real.
It's definitely the unmistakable sound of an RB down there, Stewie, and not to overshadow the unmistakable Barra in the Aeroflow lane as well, Bushy.
Yeah, I kind of feel that the Barra has, of course, its own engine note, but to me, it's not as distinctive as a 2J or an RB. That's just my hearing, perhaps.
No,
I'm a Ford guy. I'm not knocking the BA, of course.
No, I had one too, mate. Yeah, I had an XR6 Turbo too, and I wouldn't say that one of the main reasons I owned it was the sound.
Yes.
So
that wasn't a criteria.
No,
that was just
it wasn't the bonus that I got when I started driving it. Power, yes. Torque, yes. So we've just... So you can just see a couple of cars there, these drivers just getting into stage now. One thing that you may notice is if the car breaks the beam... Oop. Someone getting used to a very aggressive clutch down there in the GDR, I would say. But you might see when cars are staging, they might break the beams. So they go all the way forward. They step a little bit far forward before the other
both
car
cars
is
there
staged.
just struggling a little bit to get off the line there, boys. The RB jumped and then it just went quiet. So I had just to get to rehook up. Unfortunately there for the Falcon, a little bit of an issue getting that car into stage and getting it up on boost.
Yeah, spot on, Stu. As I was just explaining, when if the car comes through, it lights up both the bulbs, and then all of a sudden, maybe it just didn't catch the brake in time, or it lurches forward, on a cam or with an aggressive clutch, and you step forward before the other car has come into full stage, so the tree isn't activated yet. You can back up, but what you need to do is back right out of the stage. So you need to get all the way out of pre-stage. So take both of those lights out, and then roll back into full stage. That resets the tree. And allows us to obviously hit the button so that the ambers can come on and then the green light will go.
It also means that we're 100% sure that you've staged in a forward gear.
Yes,
as silly as that sounds, it's
that's
been
correct.
done before.
Yep. Plenty of people have pulled back into full stage while in reverse, and I've used it before. I'm going to use it again. Spray tan in the underwear, Bushy, in shoes after trying to launch your car in reverse. Not that I'm speaking from experience.
It's a little bit unexpected. All right, another Skyline about to face the starter, this time taking on our friends in the Commodore. A bit of nitrous on board in the Commodore.
Yep, looks like it. Nice launch from the R33 in the rocket lane. And a nice clean takeoff from the Commodore, 1.864. 1.72 foot is not bad.
It didn't look that fast from the Skyline.
No, yeah. It's very sneaky. Off to an 11.99 with a 2 at 122 miles per hour to a 12.500 at 111.
Very clean looking Subaru rolling up to the start line.
Tidy little bug eye, if I'm not mistaken, down there. It's going to take the line next to the FG Falcon Ute.
Yes, of course, don't feel obligated that you have to do a big burnout. It's fun, but you don't have to.
No, that's right. And sometimes it can actually hurt your performance. If you've got a regular street tyre on board, something that you would daily every day, it's not always designed to have the amount of temperature in a compound that you might get after a large burnout.
Yes.
So they get to a certain point, which is good, and then they go over that cliff, and then it's actually just all mushy, and it's not going to give you any grip. So feel free, if you're running a radial or you're running a slick, come out here and do something just like that Aristo has done.
Yes.
Down there in the aeroflow lane.
I can't see him.
Nice, good, I'd say third gear burnout there. Very good. You can get that compound up to temperature, but otherwise not necessary. I think the BMW in the right lane is going to be a dark horse here, Bushy.
Yes, well, they run very well, those BMWs. I reckon, I'm guessing 11.9.
Ooh, 11.9. I was going to go like an 11.30.
Okay, I might be wrong. It won't be the first
I
time
might be
tonight.
way off. Oh,
You're
split the difference, mate.
You're
Split the difference.
You're closer, 122. I'll give you that one, Pat.
So 11.47 at 122 versus a 14.37 at 100 mile per hour. I dare say the Aristo's got a bit more in it. So as you can see on the way to the aeroflow lane here, Gold Rush, this purpose-built drag ute, I guess you would say it, drag truck, if we were in the States. Very spicy compound diesel turbo setup. So let's see it spool up. We've got a really clean looking. I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to say it's an XW ute in the rocket lane.
It's a Falcon ute.
Yep, Falcon ute. That's an easy way to get around it, Bushy. But a beautiful car. So
yes, it is a very nice looking car.
ooh,
Blazing
some
the tyres.
traction issues, and no such traction issue for Gold Rush, but looks like it's breaking down a little bit at the top of first gear there. So yeah, that's a bit of a show for what's to come.
Still runs on through for an 11.8, 145 mile an hour. Thank you very much.
Is that right? That I mean,
Well-
it did get back. He did get back on it towards the back end of the track. So yeah, they do make a ton of torque. So to be off it and then roll back on for.
I don't know what sort of engine was in a pickup that I found on Instagram. I think it was a Cummins something or other.
Yep.
And it makes 3,300 horsepower at the wheels.
Yes.
Have a guess what sort of boost it was pushing.
Oh, it's got to be in triple digits, surely.
Yes.
130.
Nearly the double ton. 190 boost.
190 psi
Now,
boost.
the dyno runs that I saw were pretty good. There
Yep.
was also some where it had flames coming out of it where there shouldn't have been flames coming out of it. So
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
yeah.
There's a bit of
But I
that.
guess you don't get to the point where you're running 190 pounder boost without breaking the odd bits and pieces.
No, that's definitely testing some components. A durability test for sure.
Just like this driver's.
Just
testing
like
his-
this gentleman in the
testing
Rodeo.
his clutch out.
There is.
Well, I can tell you too, boys, that this Rodeo, or Isuzu, as it's got in the front of it, it has got a huge amount of pipework and a nice big intercooler in the front of it. So, I don't know whether it's the standard motor or they've done something a little bit different. I need to do an interview with him, but look, it sounds nice and angry. But I don't think he's going to catch the big Land Cruiser. But hey, what a night, Diesel night. It is our theme night here at Aeroflow Race for Real. If you're watching online, you're thinking, should I come out? The answer simply is yes, guys. It's one of our best theme nights. And we got the big Dodge Ram, the 5.7 litre Hemi on board, and he's about to take on the Nissan Patrol Ute.
Definitely a handful of revs on board from the Ram there, Stu, in the burnout box.
Oh, yeah, it sounded tough. But, I mean, would you expect anything less with the Ram badge on it? These things are great. But I was actually hoping that Choi from Gas Fired Pizzas, you know, if they didn't have the Silverado up the top, you know, he could have brought that out for a run.
Well, he could de-horse it. He's got the trailer connected to it at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can drop the jockey wheel on the front of the trailer and get the Silverado down.
You need to go up there and put a bit of pressure on him, Stu.
Pretty aggressive from the Ram there off the line. There's a bit of wheel spin, I think. But it's going to make its way on down the track. Of course, for a 15.2 at 97 miles per hour, the Patrol clocks in at 20.22 at 63 mile per hour. Got a feeling he might have got off a little bit early there, but no mean feat getting a full work-bodied Patrol down the strip there.
There might be all work tools in there too.
Yeah, there's a good chance it's full.
We've got the Navara down here, Pat.
Yeah, mate.
And we've got this Toyota Hilux down here. Number plate's bit big. Well, you know, we've seen some pretty big four-wheel drives. Not saying that one's not big, but I've seen bigger. The challenge is set.
How often have you heard that, Stu?
Well, I mean, last time we had 4x4 night out here, there was some pretty seriously big rigs that were out here doing some drag racing. But not so, as I said, that car is big, but I have seen bigger.
Yeah, no, spot on. There's definitely going to be some challenges for the big units tonight, mate. So
Actually, I reckon Andrew Hawkins, you know, should bring out the Pro 4X Warrior. Bring it out for a run, I reckon. That'd be good fun. From Motive Video.
has he still got that Navara thing?
Yeah, he's still got the Navara.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
seen it driving around North Rocks a bit.
All right, well, here's a Navara in the Aeroflow lane, by the looks of things, and the arch enemy Hilux in the Rocket lane. Pull up, both very similar combinations. They've got the roof rack, they've got the awning on the side, you've got a snorkel. It's pretty much obligatory now if you own a dual cab ute. I think you've got to stop by at one of those accessory places and hook it all up, right?
Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it properly.
Yeah, spot on. Looks like the Navara may edge out the Hilux here.
Just out in front by about half a second, I reckon.
Yeah, 1863 at 73 to 1921 at 69 mile per hour. All right, so back with a little bit of petrol power, or maybe E85. On this one, we've got the Darn Automotive WRX. It was here last week, so definitely a bit of testing and tuning happening. It's good to see them back again.
pick up in the Rocket Lane will do battle.
Nice aggressive launch from the WRX, 1960 foot, which is not a bad effort in a manual GC8.
So he's smashing through the gears too. 12, 11, 28 with a 7, 130 mile an hour pack.
That is a
Wow.
spicy EJ, I would say, yeah.
That's moving at the top end of the racetrack.
Yep. Zero regard for the glass gearbox in the GC8, which is good to see. You know, you got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes. For sure.
Yeah, so a friend of mine that races circuit cars said that to me the other day. He said, if you're too scared to break it, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's
And
spot
I'm like,
on,
yeah,
mate.
you're right.
Spot on. So, but you never know. Dundalk Automotive may have done a 6-speed conversion or something like that in that
Well,
GC8. And
it seemed to be shifting very quickly.
yeah, we're moving, yeah. Oh, hazing the tyres for the Holden in the aeroflow lane and then laying into some power further down. There's a lot of potential to come from that vehicle for sure.
Well, I think it hooked up on the third pedal.
Yeah.
But in fairness, that car does that most of the time when he comes here.
Yeah.
Hits the tyres pretty hard. And a 13.29 with a 6.107 for the Commodore in the Rocket Lane there.
It's not bad. We've got the Nismo Note back again from a couple of weeks ago. This little electric powered car. Oh, and R33 GTR still trying to work out that new clutch, but definitely figuring out the power once they've got a gear.
Well, I can tell you that Team Karam Racing are gearing up to bring out the Evo for another run, which is great to see them here this week. Of course, if you missed last week, guys, we had about 4 of our 4 G63 brothers out here all having a race on a Wednesday night. It's a great night to be a part of. But tonight, it is our diesel theme night. Now, hopefully we'll get a few more big rigs on their way in to the venue a little bit later on. Of course, coming up tomorrow night, guys, we've got the roll drags, which will be huge. Of course, there's been a few little modifications to the event, i.e. we've extended the length of the track. So that should make it a little bit interesting tomorrow night, Pat.
Absolutely, Stu. I think we've basically given the people what they've been asking for.
Yes.
You know, we are here for the people, mate. We realise that, you know, and I've said this before, we started off roll drags gently. We just
Yes.
wanted to make sure that everything was working well. We wanted to get good, constructive feedback from people. We've got that. People said, hey, we need a bit more track. We're not getting to the sort of speed or, you know, utilising the performance of our cars the way that we'd like to. So we've said, okay, fair enough. We've gone from the 660 mark to the 1,000-foot mark, so 3/4 track now.
Yes. Yep.
Which is going to make for some really exciting racing at the big end, I think.
What's the quickest we've seen so far? It's 200 and...
I want to say 214. I think we're over 210 or so.
nearly 230, I think.
Was it that?
Yeah, with that Skyline.
Supra?
On
Or
the
Skyline?
Skyline. We had two or three Supras over 200 on the
Yep.
first.
Oh, maybe
roll
it was the
drag,
one I wasn't here.
And I think there was a R35 that went like 228 or something
Yeah.
like that. So I'm thinking the extra 100 meters we're going to see
It's going to be,
260-ish.
Yeah,
Maybe. I
It's
don't
going to be
know.
up there. And it's going to give a bunch of guys in rear-wheel drive combinations
Yes.
a lot more, you know, a better chance to stretch their legs.
Yes.
You know, so it's funny actually. Stu was just mentioning that it is diesel theme night tonight, so discounted entry for diesel vehicles. But we've got the Evo crew has turned up as well, so it's
Yes.
almost an Evo night. So the ERS guys are here, Team Karama's here. I can see, I think that might be Baghdad rolling through the tunnel
Yes.
from Mixed Motorsport down there. I saw a white Evo 5 or 6 rolling around the corner towards the scrutineering shed. So the Evo guys have been out in force lately.
Yes, they have, and you know, taking every opportunity they can to get some track time.
Yep.
Well, Baghdad is actually down in the tunnel at the moment. Those guys had a little bit of an issue with the throttle sensor last week, but obviously they've got that repaired, and we look forward to seeing those guys. Also, we've got the Galano Golf R is here again this week too, so we should see some nice 9-second passes, hopefully, out of that car.
Absolutely, Stu. We've got this beautiful Falcon Ute out here again, up against the VF wagon in the airflow lane. I think, Bushy, this gentleman in the wagon may have been Johnny on the spot with reaction time last week. I've put the mockers on him. He's run a 0.38 there, but still a 176 60 foot is pretty tidy out of the big wagon.
Yeah, it's just hooked up and gone, isn't it?
See you later. Off for a 12.0 at 113 mile per hour versus the 12.8 at 124 for the Falcon Ute.
Yeah, the Falcon definitely making the horsepower, just not getting it to the racetrack at this point.
That is the challenge. Okay, so we've got this nice little black bug eye WRX back in the aeroflow lane out to make some improvements, and the guys from Mixed Motorsport, Baghdad Evo in the rocket lane.
Of course, the cranky little Evo with the Nitro sticker on the back and the parachute hanging off it.
Not to mention the enormous turbo in the front, in the front of it.
Oh, he's just been given the back signal. I think the starter seeing something there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've got a feeling he might have been potentially in the wrong lane, guys. So I think that's all it was. I might be wrong. Our starter did pick something up.
No, I think you might be right there, Stu. I think we were running lane 5 when he's come through from 6.
It's going to be a bit interesting tonight, boys. Just down here out on the start line and trackside, obviously the track at the moment is being prepared for an event that we've got coming up. And look, one thing we do touch on in drag racing, and for a lot of the street guys that probably don't race all that often, what you need to realise, guys, is the track changes week to week. It is prepped the same way, but it doesn't mean the track is exactly the same. So there'll be a fair bit of tuning going on down here, Pat and Steve, on how to get your car off the line and get that time, because these passes here, obviously with the BMW and the four-wheel drive, there's no hint of wheel spin. But when you go to something with a little bit more higher horsepower or a different style of tyre, hey, you got to tune to the track to make your car fast, and that's what makes Race for Real so great, because you are racing for real.
Yeah, right, Stu. We're just enjoying this aggressive burnout action from the Rodeo with the mighty 4J engine, I believe you'll find there. But we've got King 4G from the Team Karam stable in the aeroflow lane in full stage. Rodeo pulling up.
Didn't even do a burnout, did he, Eva? I think he just rolled straight up to the start line.
Just rolled straight through, yep. So might be a bit of testing and tuning happening here, as Stu was mentioning. It might just ease it off the line.
Or not.
Or not, yeah. There's still definitely a lot more in that, but as you can see, it is making a lot of power as it comes on boost, and made a beeline for the 660 cone there. So we'll just, track crew will just get across and fix that up so we can get our timing marks.
Yeah, just slightly out of the groove there, Pat and Steve. You would have had a bird's eye view of that run, but actually got off the line pretty well. Then it probably just eased it acceleration-wise, just through the 60 to the 80 foot, and then as soon as you got to 330, it picked up in boost. But unfortunately, boys, it's just moved to the right, just slightly out of the groove, and then, as you said, Pat, just made a beeline for the 660.
Yeah, you definitely see a fairly prominent set of tyre marks there, pointing right to where that official is at half track. And the Evos tend to want to do that, don't they, Pat? They come up on boost and it just sort of hang on, I guess.
Yeah, there's a transfer case. There's two diffs. They're all fighting for a bit of action. You know, tyres there. It's tricky as well. You know, when you've got sort of a production-based vehicle, it's really difficult to get corner weighting right.
Yes.
So when you're setting up your suspension ride heights and things like that, and then preload on each corner, it's very difficult because the car wasn't designed on a chassis table.
Yes.
Like a dedicated race car.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't designed to run low eights over the eighth,
No,
over the,
no,
over
that's
the
right.
quarter mile. And
That car was designed to go sideways through a forest, you know, as a rally car, right?
on dirt.
That's right.
Or
yeah.
snow.
Yep, snow. Anything really. Any surface.
Just not tarmac.
That's right. Yeah. So very interesting. But here's always an entertaining vehicle is the Glano Golf R. So this car has run well into the 9s, I believe.
Yeah,
Bushy,
quickest I've
previous
seen
time.
from memory is about a 9.4, I think.
Right.
So fairly softly away from the start line. 1.68 to the 60.
Looks like a nice stable run though as it goes on to a 9.45 with a 5 at 151 miles per hour.
That was impressive.
That's a 2-litre engine, ladies and gentlemen, 151 mile per hour. So very impressive from the Glano guys again, and I believe Pac Ortec is part of that combination.
That looked so soft off the line, boys, from down here. I'm actually surprised it went 9.45 just quietly.
But it doesn't seem to want to do the torque steering that the Lancers are doing. So maybe it's something a little bit different. Obviously, perhaps a little bit newer chassis as well in their components as well. Like when I say newer, is later model. Like the Evos would be what 2014-ish.
That platform is well earlier than that. I think Evo 9 and whatnot would have to be. Someone's going to crucify me here, but I'm going to say 2008.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. So, but yeah, I mean, different chassis, different setups, you know, different approaches. Look, King 4G just went down there. I would say is going to run in excess of 170 mile per hour. So definitely throwing a lot more power to the ground than the Glano Golf, and probably a little more aggressively as well with the size of the turbo.
Oh, there's something just come out of the Hilux there.
Very aggressive launch from the Hilux, and it's left a
did hear a bang too, Pat, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep, the diesel rigs. Now, as you can see here, obviously we hope that there's not something terminal happening with that Hilux, but as the driver has stopped very early on in the lane there, right in the middle of the lane, we try to avoid that if possible. So if you have come off the line, your car's done something that you're not expecting, it's made an odd noise or something along those lines, then we do ask, if at all possible, that you move across to the left if you're in the aeroflow lane, or the right if you're in the rocket lane, the wall side of the track.
Yes, at least the driver has stopped. In this case, may not have been a choice, but at least they've stopped.
Well, guys, just been out the back and got to see Sammy Jo back in her red Commodore, and Brian's Commodore's here tonight as well. I've been over at Area 51 Custom Performance all day and just helping out Eden over there, and apparently he is on his way out, so should be here soon, so it'd be good to see how they go tonight. Obviously, it's actually a very different night out here tonight, boys. There is a bit of a breeze, as you guys are probably aware, but there's still a lot of track temp, but it's a nice cool air that is blowing around this track. So I think as the night progresses, boys, it's really going to start to suit particularly our diesel drivers and a lot of our turbo cars. So I'm looking forward to it. And unfortunately there, looks like a bit big. Might have got a bit big for its boots and it's broken, has it? You see, Pat and Steve, if that was a Mazda, I wouldn't have broken.
Oh, I don't know about that, Stewie.
It was a B250, mate. You know.
I'm pretty sure I remember the previous model was pretty prone to some gearbox issues.
That was in the autos.
But he's out there giving it a crack, Stu, and that's the most important thing.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, look, if I still had my ute, I would have come out and raced tonight. For sure. I would have commentated and raced.
All right. Well, while we make sure that everything's okay with this Hilux, or we help the driver off the track, we might throw to a couple of ads, Bushy, and we'll pay some bills.
Not slow.
Not difficult.
Not just ticking boxes.
Not a bank.
Talk to Australia's real-life non-bank for home loans, car loans, personal loans. Pepper Money, the home of loan options.
Aeroflow Performance provides a wide range of high-quality performance products for races, street machines and hot rod. Aeroflow Performance provides a wide range of high-quality performance products for racers, street machines and hot rodders. From fittings, fuel system components, intake solutions and even turbocharger systems, you can see it all at aeroflowperformance.com.
BikeReview.com.au is Australia's leading website for performance and modified motorcycles. BikeReview.com.au is the only motorcycle-focused website to feature motorcycle drag racing on a regular basis. And in the words of editor Jeff Ware, our involvement with Sydney Dragway is our way of putting back into one of our favourite sports. BikeReview.com.au. Stay informed, up to date and entertained thanks to Para News. Para News is Parramatta and the Cumberland area's leading free and local newspaper, delivering the best content from on-the-ground journalists and providing businesses with direct access to potential customers. News, sport, entertainment, puzzles and so much more. Para News really is the heartbeat of Parramatta and Cumberland, and it's out every Tuesday. Get your free copy at selected locations in the area or check out paranews.com.au.
Bank said no to your home loan? Talk to us.
Not a bank.
Talk to Australia's real-life non-bank for home loans, car loans, personal loans. Pepper Money, the home of loan options.
Whether you're building a street machine or a race car, Aeroflow Performance has a solution for you. Our ever-increasing range features boosted turbocharger systems, Bosch Motorsport products, X-Pro electrical systems, hoses and fittings, bang shift shifters, differential parts and fabrication components. You can see it all on aeroflowperformance.com.
All right, so Sydney Dragway track crew has managed to get that Hilux off the track safely. We'll get him back out into the paddock, and hopefully he can sort it out to make his way home.
Yeah, sort of. I'm trying to work out what that thing was that was laying in the middle of the track, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's a piece of like the grill or something, or whatnot. It might have just like axle tramped or wheel hopped so hard that it popped a bit of something out. Yeah, it's got some tyre shake off the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Some more weight on the clutch. Should be good to go. All right, here we go. We've got the rivals, the Navara versus the Hilux back again.
Yep, I think these two are going to throw me when it gets a bit dark.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky to pick them.
Just the Navara is slightly lighter in colour.
Yep, that's right. And it does eke out the 60-foot over the Hilux.
By near enough to a tenth of a second. The Navara still out in front, stretching the legs. And we'll run them through for an 18.49, Pat. 73 mile an hour. Ends up getting there by around about 6/10 of a second.
He's got bragging rights at the pub over his mate in the Hilux.
At the moment, he does, yeah. But is it unbreakable?
Whoa. Big call.
See what I did there? Although we have just seen him.
Well, yeah, we did just see it. Hilux. Not, yeah. All right, so we got the down GC8. WRX back down here. Quite aggressive off the line again. Not bad. Grabbing gears as it makes its way down the track.
1.7 to the 60. Oh, big puff of smoke at 1,000.
Found the rev limiter, I think. 11.31 at 119. Yeah, definitely down on power at the big end there.
Well, guys, we've got plenty more four-wheel drives that are waiting outside scrutineering to make their way around, which is great to see. Plenty of our diesel drivers are here tonight. Still haven't seen a full-blown country theme ute yet, you know, with the big aerials and the
you want a B&S ute,
on
mate?
the front. You know, something that I'd drive.
Yep.
You know.
A B&S ute, we need a big roof shooter.
Absolutely.
Roof shooter bumper on the front of it.
Absolutely. I even shared this event on my ute page, Sydney Ute Enthusiasts, saying, hey, guys, you know, be part of it. But no, it's great to have all our four-wheel drive drivers out here now, all our diesel-powered vehicles. Don't forget, it doesn't have to be a four-wheel drive. It could be a diesel-powered Volkswagen. It could be anything. So as long as it's diesel-powered, you can come out and race for $40 tonight. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, spot on, Stu. It's going to be good. I can really see some big Kenworth mud flaps on the back of your Mazda 2, I reckon, down there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that, if I
We'll just-
chisel it out a little bit.
Yeah, we
just
might have to trim them down.
No, you just tech screw them up to the top of the bumper.
Tech screw on the top of the bumper? Yeah, no
yeah,
worries.
don't worry
Well-
about trimming them.
As a matter of fact, when I had the BT 50 years ago, I was actually looking for a set of big R.M. Williams mud flaps to stick on the back of it, but unfortunately, I couldn't find any at the time when I was looking, so I decided not to get it. But, it's funny, and I get asked this question a lot, and I think it's something that a lot of people can kind of relate to. You have a car that you buy, it's your pride and joy, and then, you sort of get forced to sell it. And it's the biggest regret in life is selling something that you love. Well, that was me with the Ute. When I had to sell that it was hard. Don't get me wrong, but look, you never know what the future might hold. So I might get another Ute, and we might bring it back out and have people get back into the scene again. We're very fortunate here at Sydney Dragway too that one of my friends, who is one of the fireys here, Ben, who generally works down the end. Ben's quite well known through the Ute scene here in New South Wales, and has a fair bit to do with a lot of the Ute shows that get around as well. So, we want to get back and reinvigorate the scene again. And what better way to do it than, all these great people that bring their Utes out here to Sydney Dragway and drag race them. And be a part of our community here. As we get back to the racing, we got the VFSS about to take on this Falcon XR6 Turbo with the radials on the back of it. It's got a great sounding turbo in it, boys, from down here. I wish we had a microphone, Pat, literally on the start line, because some of the noises that's coming out of these cars, they'd be fantastic to hear.
Yeah, spot on, Stu. And I think the moral to your story is if you've got something that you love, get out and enjoy it. Don't leave it in the shed. Bring it out here to, Wednesday night, race for real. Aeroflow Performances come on board to make sure that this is here every Wednesday night, and even on the odd Sunday when we've got a Sunday session. We've got roll drags, so whatever it is that you might be storing in the shed there, that you've got a bit of a love affair with, bring it out here and enjoy it.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about giving a bit of a crack. We had a bit of a club hire day here on last Sunday, and a very good mix of cars. Everything from Toyota Supras to I think the quickest car was a TC TD Cortina.
Yep.
And many different muscle cars in between. There was a Mark 1 Escort twin cam. There was all that sort of everything to a late model Toyota Corolla running down the racetrack. It was a muscle car club, but obviously they opened the doors to members running their everyday cars. But
brilliant.
Fantastic. And a lot of the competitors, because there wasn't a huge number, they got, I think the highest run I saw was something like 17 buses in a day. So they would have had to have made sure they had a full tank of fuel.
Full tank of fuel and some jerry cans, I think, for sure.
100%. Just got a message on our YouTube official, Sydney Dragway official YouTube channel. John Key would like to greet his German friends, which are here watching from the sidelines at the racetrack. So just shouting out to Toby, Ollie, Peter and Nick. Hoping you're having a good time here tonight.
Welcome and Veget. That's nice. Great. That's a pretty. It's definitely a rare sight to have some visitors from the other side of the world.
Yeah, definitely.
They're probably questioning what half of the cars are that they're seeing right here.
They'd be all right with the Volkswagens and
the Volkswagens and the Audis and the BMWs. I think we're okay with, but they're probably not too familiar with the peak '80s Ford versus Holden that we've got happening here.
100%.
With I think I'm going to say that's an XE. Yeah, I was going to say XE Penny. It's an XE and VL Commodore down there.
Yeah, that VL, boys, has got Birrong Automotive sticker on the top of it. So Alex helping out with that car.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a bit of potential to be unlocked with that one. So Birrong definitely no stranger to a lot of horsepower down there.
Now, Steve, I know I'm known for the commentator's curse.
We all are. Yes.
So right now we've got Sammy Joe up against Brian, and Brian's Commodore, the black one here, it's got the LS underneath the bonnet. Was a 6-cylinder, now a V8. I've been helping out with that car today, doing a bit of work on it, and look forward to seeing what he can get out of it.
What were you doing with it today?
We changed the coil packs in it.
Okay.
Just did a few little bit of basic maintenance on it, and Brian out there having a lot of fun in that car. It is an auto. Sammy Joe driving the manual, and a 12.99 at 99 miles an hour there for Brian.
Not a bad pass from both those competitors.
All right, great to see both of those competitors out here as well. Sammy Joe is a regular down here at Race for Real. All right, we've got a little bit more late model Holden and HSV action happening. We've got the VF GTS by the looks of things in the Aeroflow lane, and the VF Wagon SS from what I can see in the Rocket lane.
Welcome to Nicholas B from Sweden. He's tuning in, watching the drag racing action here from Sydney Dragway.
Another great launch from the Wagon there, 176 60 foot. Getting a little tighter on the reaction time as well. It's going to move on down through for a 12.0 at 114. It's got a good little bracket car on his hands there.
Yeah, nice and consistent. I think we're 12.0 on the last run too.
Yep. 12.98 at 112 for the GTS in the Aeroflow lane. All right, Burnout Enthusiasts Unite. We have the FG Falcon Ute and the Aristo back in the lanes. So let's see if they can't improve on their quarter mile times.
Boys, I don't know if you can see the staging cameras at all, but we've just had Navara rock up. That's got a pretty serious looking intercooler sitting on the front of it from CRG.
Mate, we can see the intercooler from here.
It's massive.
That's a fridge. All right. Clean launch from the Aristo this time. Looks like it's picked up a little bit of performance compared to the last run, which is great. It's going to cross for a 14.55 at 101. I think around the same sort of time, I think, as the last one. So, yeah.
Did look a little bit quicker this time, though.
It seemed it. Thanks for covering for me, Bushy.
That's all right.
Okay,
I'd like to know what sort of tyres he's running, because the smoke seems quite
it's
white.
solid. Yeah.
White, and when it does smoke, it's very, you can't see through it.
No, yeah. It's from Q Branch, I think. It's the smoke screen, you know. If you need to escape in a hurry, just do a burnout first and then get out of there. All right, 11.52 at 122 for the BMW to a 13.14 at 108 for the Bug Eye in Aeroflow lane. Okay, is this our... No, this is a slightly different matte black BMW compared to the one... I think we had a coupe last week that was that ran into the 10s. Something tells me this M3... Well, there's actually... Sorry, I think there's two M3s at the line now, which is going to be confusing for everyone. The black M3 is going to be aggressive.
1.6 to the 60.
And a 1.8 for the blue BMW in the Rocket lane, which is no slouch either. Moving down, 11.0, to a 10.98. A little bit of launch work for the blue car, and that is going to be a great race if those two get paired up each pass.
That's been tampered with a little bit, Pat.
Yeah, there's probably a few key strokes been made on that one, I reckon.
We've got the Audi A8 turbo diesel down here in the Rocket lane. Great to see another first timer making their way out here to City Dragway as part of Aeroflow Race for Real.
Yeah, Stu, I think that's actually. I'm not going to call the driver out because I don't know him, but I think they're actually quite local. I see that car just about every day when I'm on the way home, and I can't help but drive past it and look and think, what a daily. Yeah. That's I think that's a V10 from memory in that A8. It's a V10 diesel, so the same diesel engine that they had in the Tuaregs and things, the Volkswagens and whatnot. And the driver is a P-plater.
Oh, really?
Like what a killer car to have as your daily.
I guess guess one of those it would be awesome to have until something went wrong with it.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
As a P plater, I'm just saying.
There's a lot going on under that bonnet.
Yeah, my boss had a Touareg with the V10 in it, and it was a weapon of a car for what it was.
Yep.
But let's just say maintenance cost a small packet.
Yeah, I think it used to be, while it's under warranty, keep it. Once it's out, roll it over to a new one that's got warranty. Yeah, definitely very complex. Definitely very complex vehicles, but very, very nice thing to drive. So, yeah. All right, so it's we've got several themes going tonight, Bushy.
Yes.
We've got Diesel Night, which is the official theme night. We've got Euro, and we've got Evo as well.
And a bit of JDM/Evo. See, we spruik on all the time that we've got a bit of something for everybody.
Absolutely. All right, so this is going to be a good race to the line, actually. The Commodore out at 167.60 to a 182 for the BMW. Commodore crosses a 1090. All right, 11.36 at 125 for the BMW.
And BMW definitely keeping the Commodore honest across the finish line there.
Yeah, there was no early off it on that one. Lucky it's not a bracket race.
There was a bit of a nitrous purge going on with that Commodore just before that run, but we got Baghdad out here now for mixed motorsport, taking on this beautiful Falcon Ute. This thing is beautiful. It certainly sounds the part too, Steve.
Yeah, let's just see what he can do on the start line this time. He's had a little bit of drama with it hooking up. Don't think that'll be the issue with the Lancer. The Falcon's still loose, spinning the wheels to about 100 foot. The Lancer hunting that center line down, but through the middle, 950, 170 mile an hour across the finish line, Pat. A lot of smoke in the braking area, but the chute's out and the car will be around the turnaround. 170 mile an hour through the big end there, 950, went 19 to the 60 foot.
Great. Excuse me, great to see those guys getting around the new combination. Obviously not as aggressive off the line as as it could be, but yeah, definitely 170 after some fairly soft changes, gear changes going off down the track. We've got the ERS Evo King Lancer down here, but I'm not sure if he rolled through the water or what. But a lot of water came out as he tried to do that sort of roll on burnout after the burnout section there. So just going to make sure that there's nothing coming out of the front of that.
I wonder if he's washed it.
There's a good chance. Yeah. Yep.
There's a lot of overflow coming out of that Lancer again.
Is it clean water, Stu, or is it like radiator fluid?
No, I'm not quite sure what it is. It could be out of the overflow tank, or water. But yeah, there is a fair bit of liquid that came out of it. As soon as he actually came out of the water and he gave it a stab, you could see it falling out from underneath the car. So
there's definitely a lot of bodywork, a lot of wide body happening there.
Yes.
So yeah, there's always the chance that if it has had a wash this afternoon and it's been trailered out, that it may still have quite a bit of water, perhaps in some of the vents or the wide body sections. So it's just one of those little things that you've got to keep an eye on. And it's like Stu said, there's an overflow or a catch can or something like that that you've got to keep an eye on, which we mentioned plenty of times. But the way that sort of came out on both sides of the vehicle fairly evenly seems like it might just be a bit of water that's left over there from a wash. So
I do really like the wide body kit on that car. It looks really good, I think, with the especially with the bead locks on all fours.
Yeah, that's pretty serious.
So it's just a little bit of liquid, boys, that were coming out of Gold Rush as well. So they've just had to send that car back.
Okay. Yeah, we were questioning that a little bit, Stu. So yeah, keen to see Gold Rush, see what I could do in the rocket lane there. But I'm sure the boys will just stick their heads under the that golden bodywork and figure out what's happening. Sounds like we've got another Evo coming up to the line here. Thames, I believe it is, in King 4G. Let's see if they can't get a little more aggressive off the line and improve what they've done. I think from memory this vehicle actually won at the roll racing event last weekend. So coming off some good performance out there. Right, here we go, building it up to the two-step. Definitely a bit of a fight on down the track there, moving around in the big end. That's a great way to wake yourself up on a Wednesday evening. 940 at 165 mile per hour for King 4G Evo there. So definitely a little more in. Looks like it's just maybe not quite up to the boost level that they're wanting to get that car pulling really well off the line there.
It's almost like, Pat, that when they get to around the half track, you almost want to be pointing towards the wall or towards the scoreboard, so that when it arcs back to the right, you come back and you've still got a bit of lane left to play with.
Yeah,
because if you run down the centre, you'll be over the centre line.
I've never driven an Evo with that sort of power, but it seems to me, Bushy, that I think you just wouldn't want to try anything because it's just going to do the opposite of what you want it to do at the big end, you know?
Yeah, that'd be my luck.
Yeah, that's pointed that way.
You point it to the left and then it goes
left. There's potential. Here is the 4J diesel engine enthusiast Rodeo back out again with.
Where is he? I can't see.
Yeah. He's out there somewhere, mate. He's definitely out there. We'll get him back to the staging line, and we'll see if they can't improve in the ET. It's definitely an aggressive little Rodeo.
100%. Definitely giving our friends in the trackside viewing down there a good taste of burning rubber.
Two types of smoke down there, so a bit of diesel soot and some tyre smoke. So, yeah, hope you're not an asthmatic down in the trackside viewing area.
Yeah, well, Pat, you know what they say about the diesel soot.
We certainly do know, Bushy.
Well, Pat, I'm just out the back, and I can see in the station lanes we've got that older model BMW with the roll cage in it back again this week, which is great to see.
Is that the one with
E30
K-swap?
Yeah.
Yes.
K-swap BMW. Yep.
Good to see.
Yeah, that's becoming a bit of a favourite, that car.
Another one of those cars. I think he said what was a casual 550 at the tyres or something like that.
Yeah,
just a casual.
Very casual too, Steve. Yeah. Nah, it's great stuff. It's starting to fill up down here. We've got a few more four-wheel drives that have lined up for scrutineering, so we'll get a few more of our diesel-powered vehicles out on the track very soon.
The big Ram taking on the Land Cruiser this time around.
Taking no prisoners. A 60 foot for a big old vehicle there.
I'd like to know what that runs across the scales at.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to start with a 4 or a 5.
Yes.
In pounds, of course. A 1368 at 99 mile per hour is not a bad showing for that Ram, to an 1820 at 74 miles for the 80 series.
Well,
now, while the 18.2 isn't, not necessarily remarkable, but for an 80 series, it is.
It's not too bad.
That thing's getting along all right with a big old tyre on it. It looks like it's got a 33 or something sort of tyre under it.
It's getting along okay. But I guess the driver of the Ram truck, he's got to live up to what the ads say, doesn't he? In the sense that that's one of their big spruiking things in the advertisement is the sound of it.
Yep.
And definitely we can hear it pretty loud and clear on the track mics.
Absolutely.
I'm sure our viewers at home can as well.
This one's a little bit more subtle.
Yes. You can hear the big mud tyres.
You hear the whoa, 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 whoa. All right, 1887 at 66 mile per hour for the airflow lane to a 2285 at 61 mile per hour in the rocket lane. And yeah, look, these cars are not going to set the drag racing scene on fire, and that's perfectly fine, because the most important thing is that these drivers are coming down here. They're enjoying their vehicles. They're seeing what they can do flat out. They don't have to worry about any risk of police or anything like that, and they're enjoying what they love.
100%. I still think we should put a couple of earth mounds on the burnout pad.
Oh yeah, just so we can get some flexing happening on the way back through.
Yeah.
Maybe we can tie a four-wheel drive obstacle course in with the ET. So if you're not the fastest down the straight section, but you can still get over the obstacle course faster than the other lane, you win.
Okay.
So it's not just to the end of the track; it's how long it takes you to get back as well. Because that's the whole four-wheel drive thing,
Yes,
right? You can be
yes.
fast anywhere.
Yes. That's exactly. Yeah. So you're catering specifically for the four-wheel drives.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Trophy truck ramp at half track, Benny says. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure the sanctioning bodies would approve all four wheels coming off the road there.
Our
mate.
marketing manager's in the commentary box. We'll have to ask him if he can pull some strings.
I can see the gears turning. He's like, jumps halfway down the track. That's going to get a crowd. All right, so the WRX 11.0, so nice little improvement there from the Dan crew. 130 mile per hour, so it's back up on the mile per hour. Got the gear shifts right to a 19.15 at 73 mile per hour for the Isuzu, I think it was, in the Rocket Lane. And coming up, we've got a nice little VF Commodore down there, the 6-litre LS on board, and a little Honda Civic, EK Civic, in the right lane. Don't judge a book by its cover until we see what it runs.
Yep.
It could be
Total sleeper.
could be a complete sleeper. We never know. Could still have a D16 single cam in it. Could also have a K20 turbo. You just don't know.
Well, left the start line with a reasonable amount of vigour for its appearance. The Commodore out in front, but I tell you what, not doing too bad. Commodore through with a 13.28, 107 mile an hour.
1547. I'm going to call B series. Might have the VTEC B16 in that one. I don't think a D16 is going to run a 1540. I'm showing my Honda fanboy here. Oh, we'll move on quickly. There's a couple of Audis at the line, Bushy.
There is a pair of red ones.
So, boys, I love it when I walk past the Baghdad and they got the boot up and there's nice big nitrous bottles sitting in the back of it. So, you got to appreciate these 4G63 Evos, don't you, Pat? They are just a work of art.
You can't go wrong, really. I mean, you know, if you're a Subaru EJ fan, you probably can go wrong with a 4G63, but I think in general terms, like I've said many times before, Stu, if it's fast, it's cool in my book. And there's those Evos down there today are very fast.
Well, what I've noticed too, boys, particularly in the last couple of years, here at Race for Real or drag racing in general, just the re-emergence of all these pro street style vehicles that are being built for drag racing, street and strip. You know, our scene at the moment, as you said last week, Pat, it's an exciting time to be a part of the landscape, the car scene. And hey, I'll tell you what, you know, as the pictures came out yesterday, I don't know if you've seen them, Steve, but Paul Mahyatt's new Supra that he's built.
No, I have not.
Oh yeah, no, it's a new 2,500 horsepower street race Supra with the gas 2J in it.
Sure, why not?
It's just a casual 2,580 something horsepower.
At
I
the
think.
wheels or?
Yeah, at the hubs.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Completely usable.
Street car. Yeah. You know, I can't wait to see that thing out here, Stu. That is going to be, you know, Paul's obviously a very highly decorated drag racer, championship winner in, you know, door slammer, many other vehicles. Doing a lot of tuning now. Elite race parts is his business these days. He's teed up with a lot of the racers in the door slammer and the pro mod sort of scene. So if he's going to put his name behind a vehicle of his own, you know it's going to be a pretty special thing.
Oh, 100%, Pat. I think there'd be probably a little bit of pressure there as well. The P-plater in the aeroflow lane, just to change the subject for a split second, 019 on the tree. That's 19 thousandths of a second away from perfect.
That is very nice.
Very nice, yes. Good job.
Yeah, I think Paul's Supra. Hopefully, we'll see that quite soon. I got a feeling they're trying to get it out to Midnight Mayhem too.
Oh wow! Okay.
Which is a couple.
It's only
a couple of days away.
3 days away.
Yeah, 3 days away. So on Saturday night, right? So
correct.
Let's hope that they can get it. Well, it's been on the dyno. We've seen the dyno run, made 2,500 horsepower, so we know that it's got that tune up in it. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to unleash all of that the first time out, but hey, here's hoping. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Well, we do know that the radial track prep will rip your soles off your shoes quite easily.
Yes.
So
2,500 horsepower plus radial tyre and killer prep is going to put a lot of pressure on the rest of the driveline.
Yes, and a very good steerer behind the wheel too, just quietly. Have a go at the time from the HK in the rocket lane.
Really got their head around the launch there, a 1.5 60 foot. So good to see some development happening there. A little bit of smoke at the big end, so hopefully nothing too crazy.
He stopped on the corner. There is a little bit of fume coming out from.
I think he might just be checking to make sure that he actually went that fast off the line. Could be brakes. Could have been a bit of a lock-up.
I didn't see what sort of speed it was, but certainly much I was going to comment, much better launch, and that was the result, a 9-second time slip.
Definitely.
Let's see, just checking out the very bottom end of the racetrack with a couple of our track walkers down there.
And I suppose to pick up on what Stu was saying about this pro street sort of style.
Yes.
Cars coming out, and it's definitely everyone wants a street car. It's got to have 1,000 horsepower at minimum.
I'm only seven. I'm only 750 short, Pat.
Yeah, it's fine.
Damn.
Mate. I'm pretty sure if we turn the Escort up, it'll be all right. It's got a turbo on it.
Yep.
We can get there, but I think the pro street thing is a real benefit because you can use that vehicle in so many different sort of applications, right?
Yes.
Obviously, street car, we know that. Drag racing, no problem. Tomorrow night, roll drags.
Yes.
So it's about to, it's all about to kick off really with the roll drag scene tomorrow. So there's a couple of killer points that I want to make about roll drags for tomorrow night. We've got to make sure that everyone is aware. If you're thinking about getting onto roll drags, early bird special on spectator tickets. So that ends at midnight tonight.
Yes.
So you can get on. I think from memory, it's $10 for an adult spectator ticket on the early bird. I'll triple check that though. I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, right.
It is.
I forwarded that to a work colleague yesterday.
Yeah, I'm just making up prices anyway. Just get on down. No, so $10 early bird until midnight tonight. You've also got VIP viewing, which is available down here. The trackside viewing that we normally see on a Wednesday night here, where people are sitting next to the track. We've got that happening. We've made some big changes as well. So the distance that we're racing, as we mentioned earlier tonight, we're going out to 1,000 foot instead of 300 metres. Sorry, we're going to 300 metres instead of 200 metres, which is 1,000 foot instead of 660. So definitely a longer stretch to run. The early bird online, if you're jumping in for trackside viewing, $22.95 online for early bird, $11.75 for general admission, and $6.65 for 13 to 16 children. Early bird entry until midnight tonight, free if the kids are under 13.
Bargain.
How can you go
Where
wrong?
else would you like to be on a Thursday night?
Yeah, how can you go wrong? So competitor entries are still open. If you enter online, it's $73.95. I believe it's $80 at the gate from memory. That's a great amount of value, especially in Sydney, for a night out. Longer running. Fuel type has been opened up as well, so you can run methanol in the car. So if you do have a pro street car, emphasis on pro, and it does have a bit of a drinking problem, then bring it on down to roll drags.
More than welcome here.
Yep, we're okay with the methanol. So if you really want to turn it up and see what it can run out the back door, let's do it. Roll drags, Sydney Dragway, Thursday night. Early bird tickets for spectators finish tonight at midnight. So get on that. competitors still open, and there will be tickets at the gate. So get on down and
Yeah,
give it a
racing
crack.
from 6.
Racing from 6.
Gates open at 4:30. So yep.
Can't go wrong. It's basically the same combination as far as timing, access, location as you Race for Real on tonight.
Probably even the commentators will be the same.
Commentators will be the same. You get to listen to us all night, which I don't know if that's a selling point. Maybe we should skim over that, Bushy. But there is a huge night of potential racing with roll drags tomorrow night. So please come on down. We have listened to the people. We have given you what you wanted. The extra racing distances there. The different fuel types are there. The cheaper access for spectators is here.
Yes.
It's all here at Sydney Dragway. Back to the dig racing, I guess we would say, the traditional drag racing here on Wednesday night. We've got Eden down there from Area 51 in the Caprice. It's gone through for 11:30, 129. We had a little bug-eye WRX, I think, for a 12:55 at 108. I believe that's an improvement for the car.
Yeah, the big Caprice looked like it was motoring pretty well at the top end of the racetrack. 129 mile an hour through the finish line.
Yep. It's a common competitor here on Wednesday nights. Eden from Area 51, so great to see him back here as always. We've got the M3 crew back out again.
Yeah, it's great to see the M3s out in force tonight.
We've got 3 or 4 of them here tonight.
Yeah, no, it's great to see them here, and just goes to show just how quick these things straight off the factory floor. Not a huge amount of work you need to do them. An 11.14, 126. Great pass from both those cars. Another M3 coming out.
There's only 0.03 of a second between those 2 cars at the finish line. Interestingly enough, the rocket lane was only 0.3 of a second quicker to the 60-foot. Next up, the third of the M3s on the start line in the aeroflow lane, taking on the big Audi luxury barge.
There's a little turn of the tyres there on the start line out of the BMW.
Yeah, he's off the line a little early, but still mows on down for a 10.78, 125 mile per hour. The big end, the big Audi 1452 at 99 mile per hour. In luxury, I might add.
Yes, right. We were talking about weights of cars before. I dare say the Audi would be tipping the scale at a pretty healthy sum too.
Great to see Tough VT out again tonight, boys. Haven't seen that car for a little while.
Commodore in the rocket lane, a little bit loose on the hit. There was flashes of flame out the pipes as it popped and banged, but through the finish line, 11.58 with a 5, 132 mile an hour through the finish line. Thank you very much. To a 12.70 at 108 for the VT in the aeroflow lane.
Very nice. All right, another burnout enthusiast down here in the BMW in the rocket lane. It's definitely grabbed a couple of gears there, but we've got our little E30, turbo K-powered E30 in the aeroflow lane. Let's see what they can both reel off. BMW on BMW crime.
We normally don't see big burnouts from the late model BMWs. It's sounding really, really nice under the or through the track mics, Pat, and runs on through for a 10.87 with a 4, 127 miles an hour.
It's pretty tidy. I think the K-powered E30 was been breaking up a little bit or missed a gear perhaps.
But mind you, I think that the M3 wasn't under full power at the top end of the racetrack either. I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, well, hopefully more to come. All right, so we've got the ERS Evo King back out here in the track. Hopefully just we got the chamois out and the air blower. Got all the excess water out of the kit there. We've got Baghdad in the rocket lane. This should be an entertaining run.
Aeroflow lane away first, but very, very loose, just past half track. And still runs on through for a 10.07, only 107 miles an hour. He was doing 124 mile an hour at half track. Fair bit of smoke out of the Baghdadi machine in the rocket lane, though, as he went around the turnaround.
Yeah, that Baghdad machine, Steve, looked really good off the line. Not super high in the revs, but just enough to propel it forward at quite a quick rate. So great effort by those guys. They were running the nitrous on that pass. So they're doing a good job. Team Karam coming out now.
Not chasing a reaction time, just focusing on the launch. Goes 163 to the 60.
Oh, another big wonder in the big end. Through an 891 with a 9 for King 4G at 170 mile per hour as well. Definitely leaning on that car a lot harder, Bushy.
100%, Pat. I thought he got past that treacherous half-track zone, but all it did is move it another 100 metres down the racetrack.
I tell you what, these Evo guys are going to have arm pump like MotoGP riders, but after wrestling these things down the big end of the track, man, that's a battle.
100% it is, Pat.
It's not even just one way. You
No.
know, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a completely different world, but you'll get like a door slammer or a funny car, and it'll want to go one direction usually. So you'll have the wheel cranked over one way, and you'll be fighting the car the whole way down.
Yes.
These things just make up what direction they're going to go the whole way down every time. Yeah, go left now, go right now.
Yep, follow me on the wheel.
Yeah.
13.70 for the big Ram in the rocket lane there. Now Navarra has found a new playmate in the Land Cruiser this time around. Big old 80 series in the rocket lane. Pretty even on the reaction times. The Navarra slightly better with a 4.85. But I think the big old Land Cruiser may just round it up. Although, as I say that. And the Navarra gets there by 2/10. 18.62, 73 mile an hour through the finish line to an 18.88 at 70.1. Next up, we'll have the Nissan Patrol taking on the Mini. Mini being driven by Dave Muscat. Leaves with an 042 red light. The red light doesn't matter. He'll still get the time at the top end of the racetrack. And the Mini runs on through for a 16.34. 89 mile an hour through the finish line to a 21.4, just under 63 mile an hour. .041 red for the Land Cruiser. Only just on the red side. Good side-by-side race, though. I think the Land Cruiser just in front of the 1,000 and gets driven around at the top end. 17.98 with a 4, 74 mile an hour. Oof. For the Navarra, I think it was in the Aeroflow lane.
Bit of bragging rights there, mate.
Yeah. Came on home.
All right, so we're seeing double Hilux action here. We've got the white Hilux in the rocket lane is fully equipped, so might actually just make a pass and find a camping spot on the way on the way back off to the side there once we've had enough.
Just free camp.
Yeah,
Plenty of furry friends around here every now and then.
got the pop top on board, the canopy out the side. Why not? Yeah, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, he could. Don't jinx it, Ben. There's sand down there, but there's no water, mate.
Yeah, it's not the sort of sand that you want to dig your toes into.
I wonder if he'd find the odd nut and bolt down there.
Yeah, I think you probably would. There'd be a few random things there. You do often see people at the beach with metal detectors, right? I think you probably have a bit of luck down at the beach at the end of City Dragway.
There's not going to be any gold watches down there.
No, I doubt it. Well, you never know. Some of the races have ended up in there, probably.
1769 for the airflow lane there.
I love the number plate on this. I think it's a patrol coming through now. 06 Soot. That's pretty appropriate.
All the Nissans have come out to play tonight. I think they scared a few of the Toyota drivers away.
I think they might have scared the Mazdas away as well, Stewie. Where's the BT50s, mate?
Yeah, well, you know, that, the Isuzu D-Maxes, the Rangers. Actually, I'm surprised there isn't a Ford Ranger out here, actually.
You're spot on there, actually, mate. I'm very surprised I haven't seen a Ranger. Too busy being stuck to the bumper bar of someone on the M4, I think.
Well, we'll go and have a talk to a patrol driver.
Well, I'm just going to put this out
Hey,
there.
What's your name, man?
Luke, mate.
Luke, welcome to Aeroflow Race for Real, mate. Question for you, mate. There's patrols here. There's Hiluxes. But where are the Rangers and everything else?
Bike Rangers, mate.
See, typical Nissan driver, boys. Doesn't like Fords.
Might have been one that beat him one day, Stu.
I reckon. I reckon it will happen too. Let's be honest. But no, it's great to see a whole heap of our four-wheel drive friends out here this weekend as part of our diesel night.
Absolutely. Plenty of cars have been making their way on down. We're getting more and more vehicles through the tunnel that we haven't seen earlier in the night. So that's great. Everyone making their way down after work, which is good to see.
Always good to see. I was just going to make the comment that the last patrol in the aeroflow lane had a P plate on it. I don't think that was his first burnout. Just put it out.
Yeah, no, I reckon he's got more in the bag, mate.
Another patrol on the start line.
Oh, there's some shots fired on the Facebook live stream, mate. Khalil Mustafa, we know, with the green GDS, has just mentioned that the Rangers may all be in for warranty claims out there.
That's pretty quick, actually.
But, just keep in mind, the guys on the live stream, that the people out here giving it a good crack tonight are here because we've put a diesel theme night on. So if you're upset about diesel cars being here on diesel theme night, maybe you should bring your car down. Give it a crack yourself. That's what we're here for. We're here for everyone to enjoy the vehicle on the track. That's the important thing. Doesn't matter what it is that you drive. If it's registered, you can bring it down on a race for real. Brought to you by Aeroflow Performance here at Sydney Dragway. Have some fun. Get in your car. Give it a thrash. Doesn't matter if it's a diesel. Doesn't matter if it's a B&S Ute. Whether it's a VF SS Commodore. Could be an Evo. Could be anything. We've got a Monaro rolling through to the scrutineering shed at the moment. We've got some Audis down here. It's just a mixed bag.
Could even be a Volvo wagon. We had one of them racing on Sunday here at the at a private hire.
Yeah,
had a ball.
Yep.
Driver in the airflow lane doing his best to get those big mud tyres spinning. And taking on the Commodore in the rocket lane. a fairly decent lift kit on the patrol in the aeroflow lane too.
He's almost got the staging lights at eye level, I think, in that, in that patrol, mate.
Or maybe look, Billy, the starter, walked up to say something to him, and his face is like at the bottom of the window.
Yeah. It's a pretty rare thing. All right, so we can see a 13.29 at 107 for the Commodore versus a 20.39 at 64 for the Patrol.
A little bit of a hatchback battle about to take place.
Yep. We've got, I think, next two pairings, actually. We've got JDM versus Euro happening here. We've got the Honda Civic versus the Audi. I think that's an S1 from what I can see.
Yeah.
And then the next pairing through will be the Nismo Note versus Audi A3.
Yeah,
Or S3.
What do we got? A 90s kid taking on a Gen Wire, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, 13.19 at 108 for the Rocket lane to a 15.80 at 92 miles per hour in the Aeroflow lane.
A couple of different battles taking place on the star line right now. And the Audi leaving nicely with a 1.860 foot. The Nismo doing its best to keep up, but a 12.17, 117 mile an hour out of the Audi. What do they run stock pack, do you know?
Time-wise, I'm not sure. I didn't quite manage to see what that was. I don't believe that's an RS3. I think it's just an S3, which is still the 4-cylinder. But yeah, I would say that's probably got a little bit of a probably got a little bit of a tune-up in it.
Stage 1 or 2 or something.
Yep.
Oh, some issues for the Skyline in the airflow lane. If you
no
can
such
hear
issues.
me, you might want to just stop.
Yep. No such issues for the Commodore. It's made its way off to a 13.0 at 118 mile per hour. Definitely still some more in that car. But yeah, the 33 GDR, that aggressive clutch has not been good for that driver tonight. So let's hope nothing too serious, but we'll just make sure that everything's all good. Track crew is there to check, see if the vehicle can still make its way down the track under power. It doesn't look like it's leaking anything on the track from what we can see, but could be something happening there.
Yeah, we touched on there coming out to Sydney Dragway to race in with there, Pat, and I think, you know, to get out here, all you need is an approved in-date helmet.
Yep.
Long sleeve top.
Yep.
Long pants,
enclosed shoes,
and a license.
Having held a license in New South Wales. Yep. So if you have held a license in New South Wales, you can come down and compete here at Wednesday Race for Real, brought to you by Aeroflow Performance. You can also come down and take part in roll drags, which will be on tomorrow night.
Yes.
So that'll be a good thing. And just to reinforce with the rules with roll drags, street car. So it's a roll drags off-street event. So basically, it's for street appearance vehicles. You know, if you call it a street car, if it looks like a street car, if it's got number plates on it, then bring it on down. Give it a crack. If it's if it runs on nitro and it doesn't actually have a body that attaches to the vehicle, then maybe leave that one at home.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's a pretty open rule if you're in the US, because they let all sorts of things drive on.
They do, yeah.
They're very liberal in what they allow.
Yeah. I'm still not sure you could take a funny car and just rivet a VIN tag to the carbon body and call it good. Strap a couple of flashlights on the front for some headlights. You could give it a go. Oh, yeah, there's definitely all sorts over there. So, all right. While the track crew look after this 33 that is stricken in the aeroflow lane, we might throw to a couple of ads, pay some bills, and we'll be right back at Race for Real.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
I've chosen to use VP Racing fuel since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now. I just have a really personal trust with VP Racing fuels.
Running on the ragged edge of blowing up and not, a lot of it has to do with the race fuel, and that's what we rely on, VP Racing fuels.
VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent. It's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and we'll keep out there having fun.
Aeroflow, famous for our massive range of hose, fittings and performance products. Air filters, oil filters, fittings, engine and transmission parts, fuel systems, tanks, silicone hose, exhaust, air conditioning, turbo and nitrous accessories and more. Get your free catalogue and shop online now at aeroflowperformance.com.
How does an engine keep going out here? Well, that was an easy one.
All right, we are back. We've got the R33 safely off the track. Track crew's done a good job. And now we are back to racing. The VE SS Commodore in the Rocket Lane versus the S3 Audi, thanks to that driver putting exactly what the vehicle is on his number plate.
I still can't read it, though.
I had a bit of time while we were getting that other car off. I could read it when he was closer to us, Bushy. But we'll line those up. Looks like we've got another little Evo down here. Looks like a Evo 6, I want to say. Someone will correct me that it's a 5, but I'm pretty sure it's a 6.
Sub 2 seconds, 60 foot for the Audi in the Aeroflow lane.
It's going to be an honest
Good
race.
side-by-side race.
True.
Only
That
400ths across the finish line, Pat.
That is a close margin of victory.
Yeah, the Audi was a bit slower off the start line with the reaction time, but certainly made it up at the top end of the racetrack.
Yeah, actually ran a quicker ET.
Yep.
1240 versus 1320. So good to see. Let's see what this little white Evo can run. Plenty of two-step action on board, and it gets out a 2060 to a 19 for the Commodore in the Rocket Lane. Evo definitely on the brakes very early down there, so feeling out how the performance is, but the Commodore going through for 11:41 at 125 mile per hour.
Wow, that Evo still went 1272.
70 mile per hour.
70
That's
mile
right.
an hour.
Yeah, if you remember some of the big Forbies going down tonight, we're seeing 18, 19 seconds at 70 mile per hour. So, yeah, the Evo definitely was on it for the short track game. But just feeling out how the car is going, and I'm sure they'll be back to lay into it a little harder.
Skyline taking on the Commodore now in the Rocket Lane. Waiting on the Commodore to bring that second white light on. Telling the starter they're ready to go. Nice lead from the Skyline. 177 to the 60.
Very nice for the 33 in the airflow lane.
And there was a little bit of wheel spin, but not necessarily a bad thing. 12.32 with a 6.115 through the finish line for the Skyline to a 12.96 with a 7 at 111 for the Commodore in the Rocket Lane.
Absolutely. And Bushy, we've had an interesting suggestion on the Facebook Live feed. Jeremy or Jerome Kelly want to do a wife-themed night. Jeremy, you might need to elaborate a little bit more on what a wife-themed night would be, but hey, we're ears open, mate. We're always here for constructive.
What did you say? We're here for the people.
We are here for the people. Yep. We the people for the people.
Yep. Pat's running for a seat in Parliament the next election.
Oh goodness, that is not anything that anyone should want. All right, but yeah, I'd be keen to elaborate on that a little bit more. You know, wife theme, maybe a ladies' races night. You know, we want to, the girls. Let's get the girls out here racing. Maybe we can do a bit of a theme night for that, Bushy. I think that might be something to consider.
We could do that. We could get Ben to put together a specific soundtrack for the evening.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Just throwing the idea out there, Ben. Sorry, I didn't consult you first, but you know.
Are you implying that Ben's got the playlist already?
Oh, no,
Maybe on his own phone?
that's not. That's not. I didn't think that far into it.
I can definitely see Benny rocking in on his bike to a bit of Shania Twain, maybe Feel Like a Woman. He's got a Mardi Gras playlist. Well, look, everyone's welcome here at Sydney Dragway, and absolutely a wife-themed night or a ladies' night, I think, should be on the cards in the future.
Have we got any response or elaboration?
No elaboration or response from Jeremy. I think he's just dropped that and run. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe he's trying to get in good with the wife. He could be like, look, Dale, you can come down. You can have a race. It's okay. I'll do it this week. You can do it next week on the theme night. They did it specially for you.
And that's exactly how that combo would go down too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I do it with my wife. So.
Well, I guess the beauty of that is allows your wife to experience what you experience when you race, and therefore may give a deeper understanding to why you put so much of your heart into the car.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. You might unlock a new, a new enthusiast.
I mean, it may also get very expensive if she wants one of her own, but
yeah,
it's okay.
That's right. But that's got to be okay. Yeah. If you've got a race car and then you let your wife drive your race car and then she wants her own race car, buy her a race car.
Win. Because it'll also give you a spare.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, Dale, I broke my car. I have to race yours tonight. What a shame. Yes, you might be able to inherit the, you might be able to gift the race car and build a new one. All right, looks like we've had a vehicle drop a little bit of something down here in the aeroflow lane, unfortunately. So we've got the tractor out there to scrub it. So
yeah, and I got blamed for it.
Oh, Stewie, what are you doing, mate?
Oh, I don't know. Just as said it was, looked at me and went, it's your fault. And I went,
yeah, well,
you didn't work on that car today, did you?
No, I didn't touch the car, Steve. I didn't even commentate on it either.
Well, it's a mystery to me, Stu, but unfortunately, folks, on the stream and in the stands, we might just duck off to some more ads while the tractor is doing a lap up and down there, and we'll be right back at Race for Real, brought to you by Aeroflow Performance here at Sydney Dragway.
Shift shifters from Aeroflow Performance are truly the modern shifter for the modern age. Featuring a full bespoke billet case, all shifters are designed for right-hand drive vehicles with an LED lit gear position indicator. Available in either ratchet or gated options, as well as OEM replacement shifters for popular Holden and Ford vehicles. A large range of bank shift spares are available for each shifter that includes shifter cables, brackets, lever and gate kits, trans brake buttons and drop boxes for the ideal mounting solution. Shift into gear and check out a full listing at aeroflowperformance.com.
How would it be if we funded a pilot program for you to run that enabled you to bring some vision impaired kids onto the Saints Play program?
Oh wow, that would mean the world. My reward is the smile on the kids' faces.
And since you've given so much to others, we'd also like to do something for you personally. How would it feel if Pepper sent you, your partner, and your daughter Molly to the Gold Coast for a few days?
Yeah, awesome. I don't know what to say. It amazes me. Thank you very much.
Stay informed, up to date and entertained thanks to the Western Weekender. The Western Weekender is Penrith's leading free and local newspaper, delivering the best content from on-the-ground journalists and providing businesses with direct access to potential customers. News, sport, entertainment, puzzles and so much more. The Western Weekender is the heartbeat of Penrith and it's out every Thursday. Get your free copy at selected locations in the area, home delivered, or check out westernweekender.com.au.
Boosted turbochargers from Aeroflow Performance are designed for the automotive enthusiast who wants optimal performance at a competitive price. We have a range of turbochargers in both ceramic ball bearing and 360-degree journal bearing options to suit your power goals from 200 up to 3,000 horsepower. To help turbocharge your vehicle, Aeroflow Performance also have a large range of turbocharger accessories. From steam pipe turbo manifolds, external wastegates and intake and exhaust solutions, you can have your car boosted in no time. For a full listing, check out aeroflowperformance.com.
All right, and we're back at Race for Real, Wednesday nights here at Sydney Dragway, brought to you by Aeroflow Performance. I don't know if you can see on the stream there, but we've got some reasonable cars lined up in the staging lanes. So it is diesel theme night tonight. So you'll notice in lane 2 there is a ton of Forbies going all the way around the curve, which is great. We've got a real mix of other cars here ready to go down the track. And a big shout out to everyone tuned in on the YouTube live stream. We've got a few people from Victoria, we've got some people from, where have we got? Melbourne, we've got Portland, we've got Wallsend, we've got, as mentioned earlier, we've got someone from Sweden, we've got people from Germany tuning in, so it's great to see plenty of people here on the live stream, both YouTube, Facebook and here live at Sydney Dragway. And we're about to get back into the action once the crew has given the all okay. We've got the green BA XR6 Turbo in the Aeroflow lane and the Aristo, otherwise known as a Lexus GS300 in the domestic market. A first timer down here who is, I don't think it's their first time doing a burnout. Benny, what do you reckon? This Aristo? Yeah, might be first time at Race for Real. Definitely not first time doing a burnout. So let's see. We're just waiting for the all okay down the other end of the track to get our action happening again. And we'll do another reminder just quickly. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, is Roll Drag's off-street event here at Sydney Dragway. So if you're interested in bringing your street car down and seeing what it can do on a roll, then we have the event for you. You basically pull in. There's early bird spectator tickets as well. So if you want to bring your friends down to watch all the action, closing at midnight tonight, the early bird spectator tickets are only $10 for adult access. I think it's $20 for VIP viewing, which is down near the track side there, and 13 to 16-year-old children are only $6 for entry. So great value for money. Racing is $70 online. And you'll be able to get plenty of runs down here. We've extended it out to 1,000 foot, which is where the cars are going through right now. It's 3/4 of the way down the track. And yeah, definitely opened up a few of the rules there. We're going to be a little bit more flexible, giving people what they want. So get on down to Roll Drags at Sydney Dragway tomorrow night. In the meantime,
I wonder if the Rotaries will come out to play tomorrow night. I've had a couple of people ask me during the week about the Roll Drags and said, what's going on? And, I said a couple of things to some friends and they're like, oh, that's good, but aren't there going to be any Rotaries? I don't know, but hopefully there will be, because there are some very tough 8-second street-based RX3s that do get around. Hopefully they'll make it out tomorrow night for roll drags.
Yeah, definitely, Stu's. No rotary powered vehicles are no stranger to Sydney Dragway, so we would expect them to show up and have a great time at roll drags tomorrow as well. We've got that blue BMW M3 has just run off for an 11.58 at 124, nice and consistent. The FG Ute 15.7 at 92 mile per hour in the Aeroflow lane. Got another pair of late model BMW M3s out here. I think these are G series, G80. I think from memory. Great little package out of the box. BMW M car always is. So good to see those. Oh, bit of confusion. All right, so perfect example there, folks, as to if you overstep the mark on the line in the staging beams and you're going to reverse, please reverse all the way out of stage. That'll indicate to the starter that you are not going to accept the green light. And then if you do take the staging beams again into full stage, we know that you're in forward gear, not reverse. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of panic, I think, set in when the car in the rocket lane deep staged. Put it in reverse, moved back, the lights went green, so jammed the throttle and wanted to go on a 60 foot in the wrong direction. So just paying attention down there, guys. There's plenty of time. You're not in a rush. The VF wagon in the Aeroflow lane, nice and consistent, 1.7, 60 foot again. The VF sedan in the rocket lane wasn't far behind it at 186. Wagon crosses for 11.99, 115. And sedan 11.25 at 135. All right, so another couple of interesting vehicles down here, as we've mentioned earlier, the Audi A8, the big diesel A8 Luxo barge. Been having a couple of nice passes, I think mid-14s so far. And this little E30 BMW down here has been with us before. It's got the roll cage on board and a K-Series, turbocharged K-Series engine from a Honda. So I'm sure some purists are rolling at the moment, having heart attacks, but yeah, with a casual 550 horsepower on board, it's definitely no joke.
That is one angry sounding K-swap BMW. I love it.
Sure is, Stu. 131 mile per hour is no joke from that little combination, and if they can get over that little stumble off the line and get a clean launch, it's going to be a real quick car. All right, another modern BMW down there for an 11.05 at 126 versus the 13.91 at 106 in the rocket lane. All right, bit of Holden V8 action happening down here. Got the VT in the Aeroflow lane. The Aeroflow. Oh, excuse me, VY in the Aeroflow lane and VT in the rocket lane. Just wanted to comment on, we've got DJ Prowse in the house on the YouTube stream, mentioning that there is 25 of us watching from Wallsend, a family tradition to watch Race for Real on at Sydney Dragway on a Wednesday night. So thank you very much for the whole crew up there in Wallsend for tuning in. Also, a quick mention to Graham Niven that is tuning in from South Africa. Thank you, and how's it? To tuning in there, Graham. Live stream for Roll Drags tomorrow will start at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So we'd love to have you tune in on the live stream then as well. All right, back at the line, we've got Area 51, Eden in the Capri. He has gotten away cleanly. The VZ Monaro in the rocket lane, just a little red light there, unfortunately. But both heading off down the track. Eden's gone 11.29 at 135, so they've got the nitrous figured out by the looks of things, to a 12.71 at 126 in the Rocket Lane. Another nitrous-assisted Commodore coming up in the Aeroflow lane, and the ERS built King Evo, or Evo King, excuse me, down there in the Rocket Lane. Let's see if they can't get that car off the line cleanly and improve their record time. I think a radial shod Evo at 8.69 from memory. Could be quicker than that, excuse me. I'm running off a few weeks ago here. Definitely got the two-step on board, building boost. It leaves the line in a nice 158 60 foot, and he's rowing gears as it heads down the track, fighting the wheel the whole way down. ERS 881 at 169 mile per hour. That is a bit more like it, fellas. Congratulations to Mar for getting it down the track there safely. And another respectable 1140 at 121 mile per hour for the Commodore in the Aeroflow lane. All right, another domestic versus import battle here. We've got the Falcon Ute in the Aeroflow lane. It's been battling some traction issues tonight. We should be okay. What's happening at the big end of the track there? We've just got the red lights flashing.
Yeah, just checking, boys, whether he pulled the parachute.
Yeah, okay. Looks like, folks, the cars have cleared the end of the track. We're just going to make sure that everything's all good at the big end there. One thing to notice is once you've got a vehicle that is teched and licensed to run, so let's get a bit of info. Is all good down there, Benny? Oh, okay, very exciting. So no shoots and brakes were on fire for the ERS car, which is, hey, look, it's still got it around the corner, so everyone's all happy there. As I was mentioning, it is a necessity. Once you've got a vehicle that's teched for a certain bracket where you're going to have to need a parachute, which is north of 150 miles per hour, once you're running that car at an event at that speed and the ET, within the ET cutoff, if you've got the chute on and you run that mile per hour, you are required to pull the chute. So it's one of those things where you're at the mile per hour. Generally, a lot of these vehicles are running smaller wheels than factory, which means that they also have to run a smaller brake combination than factory. So while you might find that Evo, for example, will leave the factory with, you know, some big Brembo calipers on it, you know, big 4-pod, or other vehicles might have a 6-pot caliper or something like that. As soon as they change those wheels to a 15-inch wheel and you know, a radial or a slick tyre combination, those factory brakes don't fit anymore. So you've got to go down to something that's a little bit more slimline, a little bit smaller in a rotor diameter, maybe a less piston count on the calipers itself, and that means that your stopping capability just with the brakes themselves may not be what you used to. So once you've gotten to that point and you do require the chute on the back because of the mile per hour that you're running, yeah, it is a great idea to pull it. So don't forget, if you've got the chute, use it. It doesn't take that long to repack, and I'm sure your mates will give you a hand as well. So just stay all around that. But we're just going to make sure that everything's all good in the big end of the track. And then we'll get these two cars. We've got Baghdad at the line and the Orange Falcon Ute. And I can see the Galano car is in the burnout box in the Aeroflow lane. And also King 4G from Team Karam down coming up in the Rocket lane as well. So plenty of action. And here we are, red lights are off. Cars are into stage. Let's see how they run. Ooh, all right, still a little bit of a wild launch for the Ute. Baghdad just trying to overcome that two-step setup. But yeah, no issues making power down the track. Trying to fight it along. 11.27, 160 miles per hour. To a 16.85 at 77 for the Falcons, obviously aborted the run after that launch. Okay. So we've got the Galano car doing a nice stout little burnout. down there. Now, I thought that was a Golf R. Maybe it's just a GTI, which makes its ETs and times even more impressive. But yeah, to do a front-wheel drive burnout, unless there's some new trickery involved with just running a front-wheel drive setup, I'm not sure. Let's see how they run this time. Super clean launch from the Galano car, 142 60 foot. That is getting on down the track. 122 mile per hour to half track, goes for a 9.0 at 153. Big congratulations to the Galano guys down there who are over the moon. Paco Tech is down there. Well done, guys. Well done. 9.04. That is knocking on the door of an 8-second pass there. That's super impressive. So congratulations to those guys. A little bit more work to do on the launch for the Karam guys in the Rocket Lane, but they will be back. We know they will. Okay, another stout burnout by the big Dodge Ram, as we've come to expect this evening at the diesel theme night for Race for Real. We've also got what looks like, I think, a VW Tiguan down there. Not sure if it's a diesel or a petrol version.
Yeah, it's a Tiguan R, boys.
Tiguan R, okay, yep. So same engine package as the Golf R, I believe, Stewie. Nice little daily, I reckon.
Actually, I was going to say, it's actually quite a smart-looking vehicle. The Golf R. Tiguan R, sorry.
Good. No slouch either. Off the line, 160 foot. It's not bad. It's keeping that Ram honest. So we're going to be in for an 11-second pass, I reckon. Oh, no, 13.8. 11 second to 1,000 foot.
Great to see Dave Muscat here tonight with the Mini Cooper.
Yeah, he's definitely been chasing the reaction time, Stu. A couple of cherries on the light, which means he's always trying hard. All right, we'll see. Dave's going to pull up into stage. Got the Land Cruiser there, just overstepping the mark a little bit. And look, we're going to see that on these theme nights. Often you'll get people coming out for the first time to the drag strip because it's a bit of a theme night. They're like, hey, that's the sort of car I've got. I might as well give it a go. Discounted entry, and as a result, we see some people stepping through the staging beams, which is perfectly fine. We're not in competition. You're not going to get bumped out if you step through. So just take your time, creep into the staging beams. The track staff are down there to help you, and you can get away. So Dave Muscat crossing the line at 15.95 at 89 with a .091 red light on the tree. So we know Dave's run, I think, probably 3 cherries tonight, but that's okay. He's just trying to dial in his reaction time for his regular out here at Race for Real, but also the track championships on the weekend. So trying to get the eye in there. All right, so we've got a bit of Toyota action. Hilux in the Aeroflow lane. Looks like an 80 series Land Cruiser in the right. It could be a 100 series, actually. Always tricky to pick those apart. It's like the Land Cruiser version of XYXW. How do you pick an 80 and 100 from up here? It's not easy.
Well, it's great to see the guys back again this week, fellas, with the GR Corolla. Just having a look at the back of it. First time we've actually really had a good close-up look. It's got an interesting exhaust setup on this thing. It's almost similar, or in a similar vein of what the Honda Civic Type R is. I mean, it's got the 3 exhaust pipes on it, or 3 tips. So the 3 chambers. Very different to what I expected.
The 3 exhaust tips seems to be flavour of the month at the moment, Stu.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it, but I mean, it's personal preference. I think if I own one, I'd probably get rid of the centre one and just keep the outer 2, but it's certainly different.
The centre one might be that might be the smoke screen one, mate. The James Bond exhaust pipe.
Could be, actually. Could be. But no, it's actually a smart looking piece of kit.
Yeah, they are a nice car, definitely. I've seen a couple on the road now, so great little combo. We'll see what it can do. Has it got race numbers on it, Stu, or is it just there as a bit of track support?
No, it hasn't got a number on it. Yeah, okay. Boys just sitting down here. Maybe they might come out a little bit later.
All right, our feature of the night, the Rodeo with the 4J engine. Super aggressive in the burnout. Once
Well,
again.
I was going to say, boys, it was great to see Dylan back again here at Diesel Night. He's got his big four-wheel drive that's coming out very, very soon. If not out already. I know he's in the burnout area down here in the Aeroflot lane. Oh, man, I'm going through the smoke. Oh. Sorry, boys. It's like I'm a burnout commentator and there's like tyre smoke and I'm complaining.
Yeah, come on, mate. Step it up.
I know.
You love it.
I was just waiting for I can imagine what Benji's saying, so it's all right.
He's
No,
not
you got
saying
Dylan down here.
He's not saying anything for a change.
No, he's not, isn't he?
No, he's fully focused on what he's doing.
Dylan's smiling at me, boys, so he's going to go hard in the Land Cruiser. As long as Dylan doesn't break it. No, it's great to see him out here. 79, Dylan. Tell you what, it's going to be I guess it'll be a bit of a cheer for a lot of people, Pat, once the V8 gets dropped into Land Cruiser. They put the V6 turbo into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are a bit upset about that, Stu, but I think they've started to roll into dealerships now and... yeah, look, everyone loves a V8. It's Australia. That's what we want. But, yeah, it just doesn't seem to be... I don't know. It's going to be interesting. There's a couple of companies that have sort of done a bit of a backflip on getting rid of the V8. I know Mercedes, AMG, they'd announced that the next C class, or whether it was C63 or whatever number they were going to put behind it was then going to be... I think a 4-cylinder hybrid or something like that. Word is on the street that AMG received 0 pre-orders for that car. And from the following year, they're going back to a V8, from what I understand. So there is some hope for us yet, Stu.
Well, I mean, the market's still there for the V8s, as evidenced by the Mustang. But particularly when you get into the 4x4 side of things, and as you said, Pat, a lot of people that are in the country, they've grown up with a V8 Land Cruiser. Guess it's very similar on the Nissan side of things too with the Patrol. In the future, that will probably become a 6 turbo.
Yeah, quite possibly, Stu. And, another point to look at is in the US, you've got F-trucks over there, F-250s, F-350s and whatnot. Ford actually went away from the diesel engine and reintroduced the Godzilla engine, which is a 7.3-litre pushrod V8 for their F-Series trucks. So definitely some different ways of thinking about how they can deliver the performance for the vehicles. But we'll just have to wait and see, and whatever it is that does roll out of the factory, we're going to welcome it here down at Sydney Dragway for Race for Real. See what it's got. Okay, a couple of utes making their way on down the track. Tonight we're seeing in the Rocket Lane 1841 at 74 mile per hour to 1893, 72 mile per hour for the Aeroflot Lane. You can see the Dan WRX coming back through again. It's made quite a few laps tonight. Let's see if they can't chip away at that PB. And we've got, I believe this is the Navara Stew with the fridge intercooler in the front of it. It's got that giant intercooler down there.
It's getting a little bit more aggressive.
Yes, absolutely. That's probably the biggest burnout we've seen him do so far. All right, 184.60 for the WRX. Grabbing gears down there.
Yeah, he's very soft off the line too, Pat. Still goes an 11.06 with the 6, but he's not launching it super hard.
There's a 10 waiting for that car.
132 mile an hour tells me there's a...
Yep, 11.06 at 132. Yeah, it's right there. Just throw caution to the wind, give it the RPM, sidestep the clutch. Pray that it all hangs in there. You'll get the reward, guaranteed.
As I said before, if you're not pushing everything to the limits, you're not going to find them, are you?
That's right. That's right.
Oh, the Isuzu D-Max down here, about to take on the Nissan Patrol. Probably one of the more cleaner Nissan Patrols that I've seen in a long time, boys. Discount the new ones. But Pioneer detailing and polish. Maybe it's his own business.
That might be a bit of a clue there, Stu, I reckon.
Should go hit him up, Stu. Get him to detail the two.
Not sure Stu'd let another man's hands touch his Mazda 2, mate.
No, I do all my own detailing.
Yes, we would expect nothing less. All right, so it looks like we've got another Dodge Ram has joined the party tonight down here in the Aeroflow lane.
Wonder if he saw the live stream and thought, I'm going to go match race him.
He may have seen the live stream and said, that Ram's slower than mine. I can take him. He's seen the white one do a big skid. He's seen it get out and keep a couple of sedans honest. He's going to come down here and show us what he's got to.
And the other thing too, boys, we've got a My 23 WRX out here. Of course, last week we had Scotty Diver in the Ichiban Performance shop car.
Doing a bit of development, Stu.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what this one does, whether it's fully stock standard or if it's had a bit of work, but certainly not mucking around off the start line.
Yeah, right on a 2-second 60-foot there, so not bad for a close to production vehicle.
It's an interesting chat on the live stream, Pat, talking about a Fiat Panda.
A Fiat Panda?
It gets to 0 to 60 degrees, the heater, quicker than it does to 0 to 60 mile an hour.
All right, we've got a Tesla out here tonight. He's going to be taking on the little Audi A1. Sorry, the S1. My apologies.
Looks like a Model 3 down there, Stu, so they're always pretty quick off the line, so let's see if the little S1 can't keep it honest.
Yeah, this
Deep
is the SUV. Yeah. Although the Audi is out-treat him.
1.9 60-foot from the Audi. Petrol power prevails on this one, mate.
She goes quicker than I thought, that little Audi.
That would be surprising on the street, right?
I honestly didn't think it would go sub 14, but that's impressive from that little car.
Absolutely. All right, so let's just have a quick recap on the Facebook live stream. So, got a couple of people on there. Danny Ventura, what's in that Caprice? I would say that you're talking about the Area 51 car. I believe that is, it's an LS, obviously, engine. I can't remember if it's got a stroker in that thing. I think it might be a 6-litre, but it's got a decent shot of nitrous in it, which is why we're seeing sort of 130 plus mile per hour.
I'm pretty sure it is a stroker motor in it.
Yep.
That's in it. I was actually over at Area 51 today, helping Eden out. And first time the car's been out in about 3 weeks, actually. The car's been sitting in the shop because he's been busy working and helping with customer cars.
Oh, those pesky customers getting in the way. That's what it's all about, Stu. You got to keep the doors open, get the people happy, and then bring your own toys out when you can.
Of course, if you're out here tonight and you are thinking about running nitrous in your car and you'd like to get a little bit more information about it, definitely go and speak to Eden in the black Caprice or the Statesman. Area 51 Custom Performance. Runs a big shot of nitrous through that car. So if you want to know, definitely go and have a chat with him.
Spot on, Stu. And another aggressive launch from the white Evo down there, but maybe missing a gear, half track, sort of rolled off and then back into it again. But, you know, that's a driver getting their head around it, 12.24 at 86 mile per hour. So there's plenty of performance on board with that vehicle. We've just got to string it all together. We've got the little Audi S3, the black Audi S3 in the Aeroflow lane running at 12.30 at 111 mile per hour. Again, this time we've got modern versus classic Holden Commodores at the line. VE in the Aeroflow lane and the VL Commodore in the Rocket. It's a tidy car, that one, Stu. I don't know if you've seen that up close, that VL down there. It looks pretty tidy from up here.
Yeah, there's some pretty tidy cars down here. I'm actually walking over to this turbo diesel Audi. And even just walking near it, it is super tidy, Pat. Unfortunately, the lane is going forward. We'll try and get an interview with this gentleman a little bit later. But hey, it wouldn't be a diesel night without walking over to the diesel boys. Now, hopefully they'll keep it clean because we are live streaming around the world. What's going on, Dylan?
Not much. How you going?
Mate, good, mate. I saw you grinning at me. Yeah. Couldn't help yourself, could you?
Oh, I just love a good burnout, eh?
Absolutely. How's the car running, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Used to run better, but it's all right. Got the 35s in the front, slows it down, but it's all part of the fun.
You done much to it, or is it still as it was last time you brought it out? You haven't done any modifications to it?
Since last time it was here, honestly, not much, but since I bought it, just lift, headlights, just cosmetic shit, really.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, you enjoying it? That's the main thing. It's good to see you out here, mate.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Mate, I tell you what, you know when he's smiling, he's having fun now. It's good to see Dylan here. And big thank you to all our ute drivers that are here tonight for our diesel theme night here at Aeroflow Race for Real.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all, Stu. Good to see everyone down here having fun. All right, so we've got VF Commodore aggressive off the line there, a 1.760 foot. We've got the BMW is chasing him down in the Rocket Lane. It's not going to be enough though. Commodore is going to cross the line for a 10.46 at 137 mile per hour to an 11.06 at 123 in the Rocket Lane.
I thought the BMW looking at the 60 foot was going to be pretty close there, Pat, at least keep him honest, but didn't the aeroflow lane just pulling away.
Absolutely. Mighty LS Power. Save the day.
Just a couple of flashing lights on the start line now. One of our track walkers just checking out turnaround right down the bottom end there. Of course, just thinking that might have seen something on the racing service, but we're given the all clear. So the cars on the start line will be given the go-ahead to move up to the start line. Of course, bring that pre-stage white light on at the top of the Christmas tree. Then roll forward 15 centimetres or thereabouts. Bring that second white light on, telling the starter that they're ready to go. The tree counts down, 0.4 of a second between each light.
That's pretty close on the 60, Bushy, a 202 versus a 210. Looks like the Monaro is actually going to stretch it out in the back end. 1183 at 126 was a 1282 at 110. I dare say the VF might have rolled off a bit there.
Perhaps, but looking at the 330 and that, the Rocket Lane just starting to pull away, looking at the times there, but it did look very, very close at the 60 foot.
Oh. Whoop. Okay. BMW just getting a little bit ahead of itself there in the aeroflow lane. So again, we really want to impress on everyone that's watching that maybe has never been here before that on a Wednesday night, this is a full fun thing. You know, I mean, if you've come down here and you've set a goal, then yeah, we want you to achieve that goal. We want you to go for it. But if you're just down here for a bit of fun, there's no rush. You can take your time coming into stage. Just because the other person is into stage doesn't mean you have to be there right at the same time.
Yep.
There's no timer, nothing going on down there.
Yeah, I think if it was a competition event, that's a different set. There's a different set of rules, but pretty casual about a lot of things here on a Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
The sheep stations can wait.
Yeah, that's right.
Till tomorrow night at least.
Exactly right. Yep, exactly right.
11.52 with a 9, 124 mile an hour through the finish line takes it.
To an 11.58 at 123. That was a close race.
Yes. All right, here's Pat's Audi in the Rocket Lane.
What can I say? It's just like big sedans that have got big engines and
There's nothing
are
wrong with that.
comfortable.
I often wonder with some of this stuff, they perform very well from the factory, but I wonder where the limits lie with them, you know, if you did start to lean on them in terms of performance, like what could you actually get out of them, you know, like without them completely being non-existent anymore?
I think it's one of those things where, because of the emission systems on a lot of modern vehicles, there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
But I always sort of feel that there's a big jump for that first step.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll feel a big difference, like with the Stage 1 tune or whatever it might be. But after that, you're probably going to start getting a little bit risky. You know, these engines are already highly strung.
I'm just thinking, like, in terms of, even if you didn't use all the original factory systems, I suppose you could say, to use the mechanical parts of the engine, where do you know, what could you actually achieve?
Yeah.
If you designed your own computer system, if you designed, you know what I mean? Like, obviously that's an expensive way to do it, but
yeah, of course.
I'm saying from a mechanical point of view, having, yes, it's 10 cylinders, but is the bore-stroke combination ideal? And you know, once you do X, Y, Z, your performance skyrockets, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of...
I definitely think bang per litre, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, so like performance per litre is very... is usually pretty high on modern engines.
Yes.
Because they're generally cylinder head, and, you know, cam timing and things like that is all very... very advanced, so very efficient. But
well, I think also manufacturing too. Like we look at, you know, a lot of the manufacturing techniques. You know, the heads are coming out of, you know, OEM manufacturer, and they're already ported as good, if not better, than what some performance shops could do them.
Yeah.
If you said, hey, I've got this set of cast iron 302 heads, and you take them to an engine builder, they can definitely increase performance. But you pull the head off that M3 that's just run, the head porting guy's going to go, what am I going to do?
Yeah, well, especially, you know, it's very good out of the factory, but also it's really good up to quite a high level of performance.
Yes.
Before you've got to start look at doing porting, when you're really just trying to chase that last, you know, north of 1,200 horsepower or something. It's like, oh, I guess I better do some head work now. Whereas in the past, it's just
that was like the first thing you did.
That's right. Yeah. So, all right. So the little E30 was still fighting its way down the track there. In the last pass, we got the Commodore just making a solo pass down here. It looks like we've got a couple of Evos back out. So King 4G and also Baghdad is here from Mixed Motorsports stable. So it looks like he's just a little bit of a stall there. That's okay. He's going to come up and accept the light, I should say.
At least you get a little more tyre life out of your Evo when you don't have to do a burnout.
Do a burnout, yeah. It's just trying to tear them to pieces once you get to half track. You're laying in full boost.
Clutch wear a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I'd rather change a set of tyres, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, they're not cheap these days. Those,
yeah, but a lot less work than a clutch.
True. All right, all up in the two-step for both Evos down there. King 4G away. Baghdad just not getting out of the hole. Oh, there's a fight on for King 4G down the way there. 966, 160 mile per hour. And Baghdad just not quite right. I did see the guys working on that in the staging lanes earlier. So the new setup is it's fighting them. It's fighting them, Bushy.
Yeah, he did a good run earlier tonight, though. So definitely the potential's there. It's just a matter of tying it all together.
Yeah, sometimes the cars just don't want to play ball. No. You know, they'll throw a curveball here and there.
Mind you, I mean, I know it's certainly not anywhere near potential, but still ran a 24-second pass. I'd be flat out Nelly in my Cortina to do that. Don't know whether I should admit that or not.
Yeah.
But
well, it's just not that type of vehicle, mate.
No, no. Although it'd be 24 minutes now because I'd have to push it. It's not running at the moment.
Let's not get that in the way. So Dave Muscat down there still hunting that perfect light. He's just gone a minus 060 on the tree. The white ram back out trying to keep him honest, but it looks like it might have had a bit of a shifting issue there.
Didn't want to shift gear by the sound of it, which is weird because it's an automatic.
I think that's a bit of a Ram thing. It's
it?
a bit of a Dodge transmission thing. Actually, yeah, I've heard a few stories about those in the past, not to put the mockers on everyone.
It's a bit of a lucky dip, is it?
I think they're happy when they're stock, but as soon as you start to tweak them a little bit, they're probably not too happy about that. For those asking on the Facebook live stream, no, there won't be any burnouts later tonight. Being a theme night, we don't generally run the burnouts on the theme night. So, but they will be back next week on Wednesday night. Race for real. We get some entrants. So if you're thinking of entering, if you want to go for a run down the strip, or if you want to do a skid, this is the place to be. Sydney Dragway.
100%, all in the one venue. You could even participate in Race for Real and come out and do a skid at the end.
Absolutely. Yep. You can come out. You can run your car down the strip. You can be a passenger in a car that's going down the strip. You can do a burnout. No passengers in the burnouts though. No. Unfortunately.
And you need to not be a first timer.
That's right.
That's the only other stipulation, I guess you could say.
Yep.
The Tiguan taking on the Rodeo. What was that, Ben? You have to no quicker than a 1050, which is fair. That's still a very very fast car.
Yeah,
and would certainly get my attention.
If you've never been down the strip in a car, and the one that you go in runs a 1055, you'll be pretty happy, I reckon.
Yes, maybe even white.
Yeah, maybe even white. Yeah, maybe not happy.
White as a ghost.
Yep. I'm pretty sure if I put my mum in my car and I did a 14, she'd be pretty unhappy. So she's not a speed demon. Dylan back out in the 76 series for another 76 series burnout. Let's call it. Straight into stage, mate. Do you time that like a professional?
Double bowled him straight in.
Double bowled him. Oh, he's got him on the light too.
Has nailed him to the tree. 174.
We're going to have to run a diesel category, I think, at the track championships, mate. Dylan's going to be up there.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. There's nothing stopping any of these guys coming out in Street Fighter. He's going to take him to the finish line as well. 1946 with a 669 mile an hour through the finish line. To a 1955 at 70.
Right. Solid burnout from the... I think that's a Hilux. Can't see it through the smoke anymore.
We haven't got one Ranger, have we? Haven't seen one.
No, we haven't seen one. Have a good look at yourself, Ranger owners. What are you doing?
Considering you see like every one in, I want to say nearly 1 in 2.
Yeah.
Four-wheel drives that you see on the road between. Like I live in Windsor, between Windsor and Blacktown. Yep. Every second or third car is a Ranger.
Yep, I'm up the M5 and the M7 every day, and they're just all over the place, but none to be seen out here. Rangers, where the bloody hell are you?
All right, the equivalent to Ford versus Holden on the start line.
Toyota versus Nissan, look out.
I was watching the old Instagram the other night, mindlessly scrolling, and someone had, I decided to shift some sand, and it was a Whipple supercharged Nissan Patrol. You should have heard it. It didn't obviously have the 6-cylinder in it anymore.
Yeah.
I was very impressed.
I like it.
Just like, whoop, 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 whoop.
There's another, and actually what we were talking about earlier was Barras maybe having not the most amazing sort of soundtrack to them.
Yes.
But when you're talking about your off-road vehicles with engine swaps, there is a Ranger in Queensland that has a Barra in it with a big high mount turbo. It's actually probably one of the best sounding Barra combinations that I've heard, and it's in a Ranger. This thing just does power skids everywhere. It's an impressive thing. I'd love to see it go down the strip one day because it's definitely making the power.
Yes, I know I've seen a short wheelbase Patrol across the road. I'm not 100% sure what it's got in it, but it is
the black one.
Yep. It is damn fast.
The old Shorty or the new one?
It went past me that quick, I couldn't tell you.
So I'm pretty sure Joe, the fellow that actually owns both of them, there was a GQ Shorty. I think I'll get this wrong because I'm not an expert in patrols, but I'm pretty sure it's GQ. Shorty was the first one that he had with Turbo LS in it. And then there's the late model one, which I think is that GU. GU's the later one in a two-door short wheelbase again. And I think it was is it TB48 or was that a Toyota? I'm out of my depth when it comes to
42D is a
TD42 is the diesel.
The diesel.
Is it TB48? I think is the petrol one. Not sure. Either way, it's a petrol 6-cylinder that comes in a diesel and it's got a big turbo on it.
Yeah, okay. All I can tell you is it's very loud, so I don't know if that helps.
Good.
Yeah, it is. That's all. You hear it coming, and like I always sit in the grandstand, and by the time I go, that's the patrol, he's already gone.
Yes. Yep. Spot on. I've been called out on the Facebook live stream. I called Dylan's 79 series of 76. Someone's called me out. I got to get it right. It's 79 series apparently. I'll just hang up the microphone tonight.
Do you know what they say, Pat? Don't be sorry. Be better.
Be better. I'll be better next time. I might actually read his number plate where it says 79 Dylan.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that might be an idea.
What if he was born in 79?
Well, yeah.
Then you're in trouble because we're looking at an aftermarket back on the for a start.
It's tricky. Yeah. It's tricky to pick them out, pick the difference. The difference between a 76 and a 79, I don't know exactly what it is. It's all pretty much the same shape to me. I got a feeling one's a 4-door, one's a 2-door. But I'm sure Matt Jones on the Facebook live stream could point that out for me as well. What's the difference between a 76 and a 79, Matt? Tell me. I'll know for next time.
It'll be a button on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Something
That's right, yeah. You wind the windows up clockwise versus anti-clockwise.
You're terrible.
I can't believe they've still got wind-up windows in those things.
Have they really?
Yeah.
It's 2023.
Yeah, I think the new one's got power windows.
Oh, wow. Luxury.
Yeah. Bringing it into the 21st century. Here we go. We've got the response. Matt, easy to remember. 76 wagon, 79 utility, 78 troopy. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Yep. Makes sense.
I'll forget it, but yeah, it makes completely sense.
Yep. 76 wagon, 79 ute, 78 troopy. I got it.
See? And for all of you on the live streams or here at the track that didn't know that, now you do.
Yeah, everyone knows it.
You've learned at least one thing tonight.
Learn something new every day. 3 things to remember, Benny. Too much. Absolutely. All right. So coming up to the lane, I think from memory, or from what I can see, that is the new model WRX. So do the old man move and actually put my glasses on for the first time tonight. That might help. Would have got that 76, 79 series controversy right if I had them on earlier. All right, so WRX out with a 2060, so nice and consistent there. It was a 200 with a 2 last time, 200 with a 4 this time, so things coming off the line very consistently. It's going to move off down to the big end of the track at a 1446, 98 mile per hour. And in the rocket lane, we've got the Utes going through an 1896 at 72. All right, next combination up, we have, there's that E30. All of the RPM on board from the K Series. We've got the little EK Civic in the right lane, which, again, I'm going to go with B Series in this thing.
So they're 1600?
Yeah, B16 was the VTIR, the VTEC twin cam available in the EK. E30 a lot cleaner down the strip this time, so let's see if we can convert it into a nice ET.
Yeah, it runs on through for a 12.63 with a 129 mile an hour. Surprisingly enough, the Civic was actually quicker to the 60-foot pad. So
yeah,
there's a bunch left in that BMW.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Fair. That's fair, Ben.
That's fair.
I think he might have hit a nerve with our production manager over there.
I will not sit here and listen to these wild allegations of an LS swap being a bad thing, Ben. I'm not for it. not for it.
You strongly disagree.
Yeah. I respect your opinion. It's just wrong. No, look. I've said it multiple times, and I will say it many times again. If you have a fast car, I think it's cool. Doesn't matter what powers it.
But you know what? Sometimes it doesn't even have to be a fast car to be
No,
cool.
yeah, no. No, it doesn't have
It's
to be
great
fast.
that you can be individual and your passion could be any sort of car. If it's your passion, it's your passion.
Yep.
Do it for yourself, not to please others.
Absolutely. I had a mate in high school. His first car was a Ford Anglia.
And
Harry
Potter 105E?
Yeah, with
okay.
the slant.
Yes,
rear
105E.
Yep. On there. It was probably the coolest car that any of us had, just because it was different and it was cool, and like you drove the wheels off it.
Yes.
Still wasn't fast,
No.
but it was,
Well, they had either a 997 overhead valve engine in them or a 1200 overhead valve. So that
I think he had the big block, the 1200.
It was a super.
And it had Webbers on it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. His dad was a bit of a Ford man. His dad originally built the car, and then Reese inherited it. Well, not inherited, but he was gifted it.
Yes.
And then he had a nice Cortina after that as well.
He must be a good guy.
Yeah, it's right up your alley, isn't it, Bushy? But yeah, the moral of the story is, if you've got a cool car, you got a cool car. It doesn't matter if it's fast or if it's slow or if it's high or if it's low or whatever. If you're enjoying it, all the power to you.
But obviously here at Sydney Dragway, if you've got a fast car, this is the place to use it.
helps.
11003, they're 124.
Whoa, what is happening? Whoa, all right. Let's slow down a little bit here, people. We've got two BMWs that decided to try and run at the same time in the same lane. Everyone needs to just take a minute. As we mentioned earlier, we've mentioned a few times tonight, please pay attention to the track crew. Pay attention to what's happening around you, because I'm pretty sure you don't want your brand new BMW, and the other fella that you almost ran into definitely doesn't want his brand new BMW opened up down the side of it. So please, folks, please, we're here for a bit of fun, not to run into each other while you're trying to stage a car. Definitely not worth it. All right, another quick BMW down the strip there. 11.25 at 125 to 11.37 at 122. Great match race. Here comes another couple. Everyone just taking their time. Mr. Grey BMW, talking to you. Take your time. So, as you can see, the track crew just going over basically the procedure when you're coming through to race here on Wednesday night, Race for Real. The crew are going to, as you come through the tunnel, the crew are going to guide you towards the box. Then you're going to get the signal to move into the burnout box. So where you stop and you wait for the signal to then go ahead and do a burnout. And then once you've done a burnout, you can pull up to the line. But again, we need to focus on the track staff that are going to tell you when to do each of these things. Otherwise, we end up here and we take quite a bit of time for people to be able to get into the beams and make their pass, which there is no necessary time limit to get into the beams. We want you to do it safely. But if we're following the track crew, then everything will progress nicely. Everyone will be able to run a time, get her back around for another pass. All right, so we've got a 173.60 to a 184.60 in the Rocket Lane. Both cars heading on down the track quite close. 10.98 at 126 to an 11.45 at 122. There's a close margin of victory there, Bushy, 66 thousandths.
Yes, there was not much in it at all. The car in the airflow lane was a bit slower off the in reaction time, but the Rocket Lane didn't quite have the horsepower at the top end, and yeah, only 66 thousandths across the finish line, I think it was. The European version of Ford versus Holden on the start line.
That's all right, BMW versus Audi out here. I've got a feeling that BMW may pip the Audi.
Yeah, I think so. There's quite a few years difference in development.
Yeah. There's a few different concepts going on there.
And they're both pretty luxurious, I will admit.
Yeah, both pretty luxurious. But 11.36 at 125 to a 14.25 at 99. I think that's the quickest DT for the Audi tonight.
Which would be quicker down the Autobahn long distance, do you reckon?
I know the Audi would probably get better mileage.
Yeah.
Be able to do it for longer.
Overdrive.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's 6-speed ZF in those cars, 6-speed auto. Still in that. I think that model is before the DCT. I think it's DSG, whatever it is.
I saw a Instagram post the other day of someone doing something they shouldn't have been on a public road, but he shifted into top gear at like 280 k's an hour or something stupid.
That's moving.
Like just like there's another gear.
Yeah, there's another gear to go for sure.
Yes, don't condone that at all. Foolish behaviour.
Was it? You sure it was on a public road or a private road somewhere?
It was definitely. I might be wrong. I'm backpedaling here. I might be wrong, Pat.
Could have been a private road in Mexico, Bushy. You know, that's right. Bench. All right, a couple of Commodores getting down the track there, both 2.0 60-foots. Going to run on down through the big end of the track. We're going to see, it's Bobby Joe at 13.0 at 112. Sorry, Sammy Joe at 13.0 at 112 to a 13.20 at 97 in the Aeroflow lane. All right, we've got the beautiful Falcon Ute back out again, and the equally but alternatively beautiful Evo King from ERS. Down here, great looking car, plenty of power to match all the show and the go. Let's see if they can't reel off a nice 60 and finish it off at the big end. Nice and aggressive. Ooh, a bit of wheel spin on this one. It's definitely staying all the way into it down the top end. Oh, slow shift maybe 9.28 at 160. On the brakes before the line too. Definitely Jimmy and the crew getting their head around that car.
I'd love to see, and there probably is already some sort of video out there, what sort of horsepower is being produced from that car. That spun the wheels pretty hard in first and second, I think, pretty much, and there was a big pedal at half track and still 160 mile an hour.
I'm thinking it's like a megawatt.
Well, there'd be definitely a
1400 horsepower.
Yeah, I was going to say there'd be definitely a 1 and maybe a 4 or a 5 in there.
Yep. All right, so the Glano guys coming up to the line. I believe it is a Golf R, someone mentioned. So it was 9.0 last time out. Pac Ortec and Glano working together to get this car down the track. Very straight, very fast. Well north of 150 mile per hour as well. So
the scary thing for me, and you would appreciate this too, Pat, when you watch this Golf leave the start line, it doesn't spin the wheels. It doesn't. It just hooks. It almost looks slow.
Yep.
But the time on our readout is incredibly fast,
yep,
and it's just dead straight.
140 60
Yeah.
foot, which for this sort of combination vehicle is very impressive. So. Yeah, Golf R, usually four-wheel drive, so, yeah. Obviously got some, we've got some voodoo going on, as the as Benny mentioned, to get it out of the hole and do a burnout. That is an aggressive launch. Again, a 141, slight improvement there. I don't want to give it the mockers, but that looks like it's going to be at 895 at 155 mile per hour. Congratulations, guys. That is a great achievement for that combination. Baghdad, the Evo's still working on getting that car out of the hole, so great to see them making a little bit of progress, but we'll see them back again soon.
Huge amount of roll bar work in that Golf R as well. You can see the distinct differences between that car and the Evos that are coming out. But look, big congratulations to those guys. I'm going to go find out actually if that is a record for that style of car.
Fastest Golf in the world. First Golf R into the 8s in the world, apparently.
Yeah, I just got told by the boys the first Mark 7 into the 8s. So, look, huge big congratulations to the Galano and Parker Tech who are helping them out as well. That is massive. And, hey, Steve, we say it time and time again over the years, mate, how lucky are we here at Aeroflot Race for Real? And not only that, here at Sydney Dragway to see great passes like that. It just shows you the amount of work and commitment that goes in to all these cars as the driver comes around the corner. Oh, he's going to go back. Oh, okay. He's going to come around, boys. We're going to get a word from the driver when he comes back around.
Yeah, beautiful, Stu. We'd love to hear the reaction from seeing that light up on the time boards, mate. That's a great achievement for the crew down there, and yeah, we love seeing it here at Race for Real, brought to you by Aeroflot Performance.
Yeah, you made a comment there, Stu. I mean, we're very blessed in Sydney and also like all throughout Australia. We're a pretty inventive bunch, and some very, very cluey tuning shops throughout the country that are able to extract some very good performances. Some very good.
Sorry to distract you there.
Some very good performances out of cars that aren't specifically designed to do what we do with them.
Look, if he went straight into full stage, would have been all right. But that patrol just did a massive burnout and rolled through. Come on, mate.
Well, guys, the car is just coming into the staging lanes now, so I will wait for the driver to make his way out of the seat. But look. To have that achievement, I mean, look, we've seen it a lot with Evo, Skylines, but to see it in a Volkswagen Golf R, and, big thanks to AGI, Parker Tech, Galano Engineering, and the amount of bar work. I've got the driver here. I know he's ecstatic, but we've got to kind of keep it clean, mate. How does that feel, mate? The quickest Mark 7 in the world.
Yeah, very good. We've been out here for a few weeks now. Chris has been putting in all the work. He's the tuner. He built the car. But yeah, we finally got what we wanted. So yeah, we're absolutely stoked.
Tell us a little bit about the history of the car, because, I mean, obviously, as I said on the mic not all that long ago, compared to a lot of the Evos and that, there's a huge amount of bar work inside. Yeah. Obviously, as you said, there's been a lot of commitment from the team to build it. But for you as a driver, where did it start? What was the history of the car?
So the car was actually Chris's development car. He did all of the development for his tuning company on the car, and then eventually it turned more into a drag car, and yeah, now it is a full-time drag car. Yeah, our competitors overseas, they don't have to run a roll cage and all that sort of stuff, so they have an unfair advantage really. But now, yeah, we've got all the bar work in, everything in, and we've set the time we wanted to set. So yeah, we're stoked.
And for you personally as a driver, going down the track then, did it feel good to you, or did it feel like there could be room for improvement?
Yeah, no, it felt good out of the hole. It's felt good in the top end the whole time. But yeah, it felt really good out of the hole that time. We've just been trying to piece together a full pass, have the top end and also get out of the hole well. Yeah, so we've been getting out of the hole well all night. I think Chris can probably maybe give it a little bit more in the top end. We'll see how we go. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, yeah, we've done what we wanted to do. So anything from here is a bonus.
Well, mate, it is congratulations. You might grab a quick word with Chris. Chris, first of all, mate, you built an amazing car. And, mate, tell me, for those people that are watching on YouTube or Facebook or even here at the track, for you personally to build this car, to see it just run an 8-second pass, all that stress, hard work, head scratching, mate, you've done it.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. It means a lot, and I think a lot of people don't see what goes on in the background. All the test passes we do and all those issues that you deal with that, this is a factory to you. It's not a Motec or an M-Tron or a Haltech. It's none of that. You're going through pages and pages and pages of like factory OEM logic trying to find something that's holding you back, and all those hours that nobody sees in the background. So to finally put it back together and put it down at this track, it means everything, not just for me, but for our customers, because ultimately, this is why we have this car and what we develop on it, it just feeds back into customers. This car, the package in there, the gearbox, the engine, it's got nothing special in it. It's a Golf R engine package. It's got a Golf R gearbox in it. It hasn't got any, upgraded gearboxes or special final drives or anything like that. You can go to the wreckers and buy what you need to put it in. Obviously we do a lot of chassis prep. That's not discounting that. I mean, that's where a lot of the work goes as well. But the software behind it to put it all together is really what we do. And I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of speechless, but we've been aiming for this for a long time. And to be the first 8-second Golf in the world is a big thing for this platform, to be honest. So it's only for better things to come.
Well, you've seen that pass, Chris. I don't know how much of the data you've been able to have a look at off that pass, but do you think there's room for improvement, or do you think that's pretty much where it's at?
Look, there's always going to be something there that's giving me grief. So, yeah, I think there's a bit more in it still.
Well, Chris, just congratulations to yourself, mate. Galano Engineering, Parkatech, AGI, right here at Aeroflare Race for Real, the very first 8-second Golf. How's that, boys? It's going to be a party tonight at Galano.
Yeah, huge congratulations even for the whole team down there with Galano and Parkatech running that 895 out of the Golf R down there. Very impressive, very, very impressive. Big well done. Big congratulations again, guys.
Well, I think listening to Chris there saying that it's still all almost like a factory driveline or factory components, I guess you could say.
That answers your question earlier,
yeah,
right, Bushy?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much there. And as Chris said, there's pages and pages of code and factory logic to go through, because there's so much of the car that's all tied in with the ECU. Not that it's necessarily a direct comparison, but I remember back in the day when I worked for Ford, the BA Falcon computer had about, I'm probably going to forget exactly, it had about 500 pages of code in it. When they went to BF, which also wrapped up the ZF transmission, which is obviously a lot more complex, and CAN bus and things like that happening with it, there was 5,000 pages of code.
Yeah, wow.
And this is 2005 to 2006.
Yes.
Which is a light year ago when it comes to OEM development. So you can only imagine how much there is to trawl through to get that factory ECU, that factory engine and gearbox combination to get a car to do that, run an 8.95 second pass. So, yeah, big achievement. And
I think obviously just understanding the code is a trick in itself.
Yeah, it's all Greek to me, mate. So yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic to see. Hopefully, we see. The build from there, and they've been building up to the 8-second pass for quite some time, and I think it wasn't too long ago I remember seeing a 9.4, so they dropped that 4/10 pretty quickly.
Huge amount, So definitely found something.
The driver just saying he wants a little bit more up top. I wonder if he's got a scramble button.
Yeah. Maybe you can hold the cruise control button down. It gives you a bit of extra.
And the horn or something.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't mean to make light of it, but yes, it's
No.
it's interesting. You just run an 8-second pass. Oh yeah, there's more in it.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. That's always the case, isn't it? You run a PB, next pass out, let's go faster. What else can we do? What can we take out? Is there any weight left in this thing?
I can't say page up because it's not applicable.
Yeah. Yep. All of the above. So, all right, back down here at the line, we've got the red VY Commodore running a bit of nitrous, and the black BMW getting out of the hole nicely there. 172.60 foot for the BMW to 194 in the Commodore. BMW is going to run on through 4 and 11.20 at 125. Commodore at 12.0 at 121.
I know it's kind of chalk and cheese in technology between the two cars, but the launch control on those BMWs definitely seems to be working really, really well. Not even a screech of the tyres, is there? It's just gone.
Yep, they're figuring out what's happening as it's happening. All right, we've got a bit of a staging battle there, but I think what we were hearing was BMW in the aeroflow lane was on the launch control a little bit too early there, and we've mentioned before that sometimes these factory launch control systems can time out.
Yes.
If they're sitting there for too long, so it requires a bit of a reset. 3 seconds or so, you reckon, Benny? Yep.
Well, I guess the other thing is too, Pat and Steve, after we've seen that Galano Golf R do what it did, and Chris telling us, effectively what has been done to the car, I guess the next question is, who's next? What is the next late model car that we will see start to jump up in performance into that side of things?
I think we've got a few examples out here tonight that have the potential, Stu. So there's this new platform with the BMW combination is definitely got a lot of potential out there. There's the new Supra, which is running BMW running gear.
Yes.
As we know, B58 engine, so a lot of performance potential out there with that. I suppose we've just got to wait for the workshops to do what Chris Galano's done and figure it out, right?
Yeah, I think obviously to recognise the potential there and to put the effort into the platform is the key. Mark 7, I'm not 100% sure what year model that would have been. 2000.
Mark 7, I want to say probably 2016.
16, yeah.
Like
So there's a good 7 years from when that car came out of the factory to now. Now, whether they've been developing it that whole time, the chances are they probably put time into the earlier versions of that car, and some of it's transferred over. Generally when we see that sort of world record, it's not something that happened overnight.
No, it's not like fresh off the showroom floor.
Yes.
Brand new model, took it to the track. Went in 895. Not usually the way it works out, but that's okay.
Yep. Unless you buy a Capoco Camaro or something.
Yeah, Capo Camaro. Yeah, that's right. A drag car available straight from the showroom.
I think their latest version they had at SEMA was something like 1,500 horsepower or something from the factory.
Yeah, is that running? I think that's running that new 632 big block.
Yeah.
I think the Copos have got the 632 big block, which is like 1,000 horsepower on pump gas.
Yeah.
Like 93 octane US, which is like the same as our 98. 1,000 horsepower, push rod, big block.
Yep.
Get some. Yeah. Everyone loves a big block. And if they don't, they haven't driven one.
Exactly right. 1296 with the 6101 in the aeroflow lane.
Right. So it looks like Eden, Area 51, back out again in the Caprice. We've got... see what he can reel off tonight, see if he can't... All right, Eden's in full stage there. Bit of a purge of the nitrous. 2060. I really want him to crack into the 19s. I really want him to get there. Just Just hasn't been able to get. There's a lot more potential in that combination. You know, as you can see, 134 mile per hour. You know, it's got the mile per hour on board, but we just got to get him out of the hole. Not easy with a big car.
No, it certainly wouldn't be lightweight. Thank you very much, Corey, for clarifying my question. 2014 to 2017.
Okay. Yep.
I'm assuming that's for the Golf.
Yep. So that means Mark 8 Golf has been around since 2018.
What are they up to now?
Well, I mean, judging by that, they must be ready for Mark 9. I would assume. God, the Team Karam Evo out. Oh, it's doing that Evo half-track shuffle.
He was on the left side of the groove,
moly.
and then the next thing he was on the right on the centre line. That car's jumped a whole car width over.
875 at 171 mile per hour. Congratulations to the guys down there from Team Karam. We've got Fred, Joe, Tams, I think the driver. Usually a bit of Vince Rigoli on the keys with those, but I'm not sure if he's here tonight. But yeah, big congrats to those guys. I think that's a PB.
171 miles per hour.
That's cooking. That's cooking.
Is that in kilometres? I want to say 300?
No, no, not quite 300. I think 180 something is 300. So I want to say 182 mile per hour is 300. Or 200 mile per hour is 320.
So what are we saying? It was 170, wasn't it?
Yeah, 171 mile per hour. Times 1.6, right?
Yep. 273.6.
273. Yeah, that's pretty spicy. You're pretty spot on there, Benny. It's probably the only people in Australia that don't know how fast it went in kilometres per hour because we're drag racers. So we're like, yeah, mile per hour.
I used to be really good at converting that because the Cortina was in miles per hour, right?
Yeah, right.
I haven't had to worry about that for the last too long.
Here's another car that is getting a fair bit of work done to it, the Dan Automotive WRX. These guys been playing around with the tune all night.
Definitely getting very aggressive with it off the line as well, Stu.
Yeah, I've got a sneaky suspicion there's a lot of short time testing tonight in that car to get it off the line a little bit quicker.
Yeah, they've had the mile per hour on board earlier, and they're running 11.0. So there's a 10-second time slip waiting for that car, no doubt.
Now we haven't seen the Ram on Ram action, but I don't think we've seen the white Ram back since it had that shift issue. Have we?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think he might have. That might have been the warning shot. He just went, nope, that's enough. Yeah, that's right. Yep. If it's a 6-speed, maybe it's got 5. That's enough to get home. But we hope the car is all good for the owner, of course. All right.
I'm pretty sure replacing any of these sorts of late model gearboxes not necessarily a cheap option.
No, that's right. And although the Rams are extremely popular over here in Australia, it's just the volume of them on the road is nothing like what it would be in the US too. A bit of a Navara chirping away down there in the burnout box. We'll line up next to that tidy little patrol.
It's actually an interesting perspective there from one of our viewers on the live stream, Pat. Most cars don't get 0 to 100 in 8 seconds, which is true.
Yes.
Most
yep,
regular cars don't get to 0 to 100 in 8 seconds. For a bit of perspective, he's done 0 to 270 kilometres an hour in 8 seconds.
Yes, these two cars are not the same.
Right. 19.50, 71 miles an hour. We'll take it in the aeroflow lane. And the patrol in the rocket lane there, 21 seconds at 80 mile an hour. Next up, we will see our Audi taking on the Evo.
Little Audi S1, bit of a surprise package out of the hole. I think 13.3, I think it ran earlier.
Yep.
In the night. This little white Evo's got a lot of potential, so hasn't quite made a full quarter mile pass under power from go to woe, so let's see if it can't reel one off now.
Not a bad launch, 1.8 to the 60.
It's definitely rolling through the gears on the way down there, Bushy.
1.14 at half track.
That's a full pass. 10.19 at 147 miles per hour. Very
Good
nice.
job.
And a PB for the S1, 13.0 at 108 miles per hour. Congratulations to both drivers down there. So good to see that. Good to see that Mackinnon edition Evo running something a bit more representative of.
That's a pretty good launch too. Just a hint of wheel spin, and then off you go.
That's pretty much what you want. Just a little bit of wheel speed.
Because if the dead hook, it'll bog.
Yep.
But if it overspins, the run's gone. It's almost like in your Nitro Funny Cars, you want that little black track.
You need a bit of wheel speed, a little wheel speed on board, just to keep the engine alive, keep the load on it, but also stop that big old tyre from trying to flip the car over, right?
Yeah, or you just need a lot of the nitrous.
Yeah, a lot of nitrous. Yeah, that's right. So close again, 2:01 on 60 for Eden.
They don't bog too much when you got a 600 shotgun.
No, generally not much bogging happening there. 11.20 at 139 mile per hour. They've got the power on the back end. He's just got to get out of the hole harder. 11.36 at 126 in the rocket lane. All right, another pair of BMWs slowly into stage. There we go. Full stage. Very nicely done, both drivers in the BMW. Light goes green. Launch control working hard in the brains of those late model Euro cars. 168.60 in the aeroflow lane to a 175 in the rocket lane. Going to go on down to a 10.96 at 130 in the aeroflow lane and 11.30 at 122 for the rocket lane.
Yeah, big speed there from the aeroflow lane. 130. Just got away that ever so slightly to the 60 foot and just built the run from there.
Yep. All right, we've got our next M3 down here. Solo pass. That's a bit better on the launch control this time at 163, 60 foot. It's going to make its way on down through 8th mile, 7.13 at 98 miles per hour, and crosses the quarter mile at 11.11 at 123 mile per hour. Sammy Joe with a very violent burnout there in the VE Commodore. Going to gather herself up and move into stage.
Just going to say, I think that last run you went a little bit past the finish line, just quietly.
Yeah.
.048 on the tree for the aeroflow lane. Doing a good job of shifting through the gears. 12.99 with a 3, 113 mile an hour to a 13.11 at 96.
It's everyone's mate, 79 series, Dylan, back in the aeroflow lane.
Yeah, Dylan just said to me downstairs, because last time I interviewed him, he was driving his Ford Festiva. And some old Land Cruiser.
I remember now.
Yep.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
It's quite the change in vehicle choice as well, isn't it?
Gone from one extreme to the other in many ways. I bet she's missing the fuel economy in the Festiva.
I bet she's missing the fuel economy and the parkability, shall we call it, of Fiesta. Two redeeming factors there. Well, deal's gone on down for a 1932 at 69 mile per hour to the Rocket Lane 1955 at 68.
Yes, Jode, we have Top Fuel here at Sydney Dragway on the 2nd of December for Top Fuel Christmas. Jump on the tracks at website www.sydneydragway.com.au for some more event information and, of course, to grab your tickets. It's 1 day only here in December.
It is a huge one-day show. Plenty of pro mod action as well. Going to be happening out there. And, of course, the Aeroflow Sportsman Series is going to be on show for all those boys and girls that are often out here, the backbone of the sport, which is the sportsman races. Are going to be supporting the Group 1 guys. After, unfortunately, the guys up at Willowbank, their track works have been prolonged a little bit, which is often the case. We've had the same thing here, but they were unable to make their event happen by the end of the year. So we've brought the Nitro back down to Sydney Dragway, where it belongs, I might add, Bushy.
Yes, very much so. I think obviously Willowbank is progressing nicely, but just not not quite on the predicted schedule, which, as you say, happens often in construction. But certainly looking forward to seeing what they can do up there with the new racing surface. And
that's right, mate. With all with. I was about to say something poignant and, a great quote then, and I stuffed it up, so that's pretty standard for me. But, yeah, me speak English real good and stuff.
009 on the tree for the Aeroflow lane.
Absolutely, that is a nice reaction
That's
time
probably
there.
the best that we've seen tonight. The best that I recall seeing.
Yeah, I don't remember any other double O's. I remember a couple of O's, but double O's.
Yeah, so, the 2nd of December, definitely looking forward to that. The Pro Mod races put on a fantastic show. The recent Top Fuel Funny Car event here at Sydney Dragway.
Absolutely, it was hotly contested. I think we might be missing a couple. I think I saw the entry list. I couldn't see the Camaro, Frank.
Tarabay, yeah.
Yep, I couldn't see Tarabay's name on there, but all the usual suspects were there. Greg Sakaridis, Zoran Gajic.
Burnsy, was he there?
Yeah, pretty sure Burnsy was there. Yep.
Yeah, that car was an absolute weapon.
Oh, yeah. It was on a rail. I think Marina Brothers.
Yes.
Back again. So, yeah, some great names out there. Another 2-0 for Eden in the Rocket Lane in the Caprice.
He's given up the ghost.
Yeah.
About 400 feet, and he's going to roll on through. I wonder if the transmission's saying, I've had enough.
Might be a bit unhappy about it, yeah.
Still under its own power. 107 mile an hour for the Audi in the Aeroflow lane there.
Absolutely. Nice, consistent little car. Very low 13s all night, that little Audi S1.
Yeah, we saw that on Sunday, Pat. There was a gentleman out here in a Cortina, and at the end of the afternoon, just absolutely beating on this car, nearly just doing laps. So I'm like, it's getting slower each time.
You got to give him a rest.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. He parked it actually under the tunnel because there was 30 cars. He just parked under the tunnel. He said, I want one more run. We waited probably 10 minutes for it to cool down, came out and ran like his fastest run of the day.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, just beating on this car for probably 5 or 6 runs back to back. And I'm just like, because I was sitting in race control, it's getting slower each time by like a tenth. Like it's a fair chunk. And
I did that one night in the Commodore before it got the Turbo 400, so it still had the 4L60, and we were down in the really low 10s.
Yeah.
We were 10.
And you wanted about 9, did you?
Yeah, it was 10, 17, 10, 11, 10, 09, 10, 05, and I went, we can get another one in. No, it didn't die, but it was getting slower. There wasn't anything else in it. So 10.05 is where the 4L60 got, and the Turbo 400 came in, and we went nuts. So, yeah, sometimes you just got to give it a bit of a rest, even though you're trying to beat it up. All right, this should be an entertaining pass here. We've got the ERS Evo King back in the lanes, in the Rocket Lane, and we've got the Galano world record holding. Actually, both cars are world record holders. The Evo is the fastest radial tyre Evo. And that is an aggressive launch from Evo King.
157 to the 60, Pat, for the Evo.
It's moving. 178 for Galano. Didn't quite work at its best there. An 887. Definitely not at 49 mile per hour for the Evo there in the Rocket Lane. So bit of something happening there. But a 951 at 157 mile per hour for Galano. So that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You run that PB and then you try and get a little bit more and it doesn't quite work out for you. But I'm sure those guys will not be giving up and they'll be back around again.
100%. They let the car sit in the staging lanes there just to let it cool right down after that pass.
Yep.
I guess they've probably got sensors on all major components there, and probably with the testing that they've done, no ideal operating temperature ranges. When you lean on these cars that hard, sometimes they get pretty hot pretty quickly.
All right, some more BMW action here at the line. We've got both cars. Same cars as last time, but swapped lanes. 169 60 foot versus a 162 60 in the Rocket Lane. Goes through from an 11.196 at 125 to an 11.11 at 123. Might be possibly PB for both cars there.
Yeah, looking at the numbers, they're pretty much locked together. Just the reaction time's really the only major difference there.
Yep, I think we might have Dylan for one last pass, and I haven't been able to see what this other vehicle is in the airflow lane. I'm not sure if it's a Patrol or another Land Cruiser.
I was going to say we'll look on the camera, but I can't see through the headlights.
Okay, Sammy Joe in the red VE. Another nice little burnout on board there in the airflow lane with the VY, I think it is, in the Rocket Lane.
Yeah, so Sammy and Brian, I think Stu said, was in the Rocket Lane.
Yep. All right, Brian heading on for a 12.91 at 101 mile per hour to a 12.74 at 115 for Sammy Joe in the airflow lane.
500ths of a second across the finish line with those two.
Nitrous powered VY Commodore coming up again, see if he can't chip away at those times.
Reaction time for the Commodore driver, 168 to the 60, 101 to half track, and a 1089. Nice.
126. Is that the first time that's run a 10 tonight, that car?
I'd say so, yes.
I think it might be, yeah. All right, we've got the tidy 80 series out here again. Another Hilux burnout enthusiast down here in the Rocket Lane, Bushy.
Just wearing out the driver's side wheel.
Yep. Might have to put the spare on in the morning to just to even that out. Might have a bit of a left-hand down or right-hand down action on the highway after single tyre fires all night.
The old Land Cruiser showing the way at the moment. And the utility is not going to catch him from there.
No, I don't think so.
1788, 74 mile an hour.
I think if that's the same big white 80 series that we've been seeing all night, I think that's a PB for him.
Yes.
1788. I think it's been run 1820s. Also,
Just got in that big power band.
Yeah. Had a bit of a cool down.
Yep.
Yep.
Flat change maybe.
Yeah.
I'm sure the near 40-year-old gearbox would like that.
All right.
Built Toyota tough.
Built Toyota tough. That's exactly right, Bushy. A couple of BMWs here. Very close reaction time there. So both drivers leaving almost the same. 1.7 to a 1.8, 60 foot. They're tied together down the track as well. It's very close.
Yeah.
And Aeroflow Lane. Ooh.
Only
just missing out by, yeah.
Only 100's in it, Pat. 11.02 with a 11.02 with a 6 to an 11.03 with a 1.
That's about as close as you'll get. Let's see if the next pair of BMWs can put on the same sort of show. A couple of great launches there, a 167 to a 164, 60 foot. These launch control vehicles are just crushing it tonight. Another close match. 11.17 with a 2 to an 11.11 with an 8. 126 mile per hour versus 123.
Yes, it was about a tenth, just over a tenth of a second across the finish line, but most of that I think was in the reaction
time. Yeah, absolutely. So there's only, what, 6, not even 5 thousandths in the ET.
Yeah, it's pretty scary when you think about it. I mean, you know, as I said before, the reaction time does not add or subtract onto the time that's recorded as you cross the finish line, but in a race scenario, it does make a difference.
Correct.
Yeah, especially what we like to commentate on, Steve, when we're up in the box together.
Yep, the sportsman category.
How many races in junior drags have you seen won by the smallest of margins? And even in qualifying.
100%. I mean, the sport is decided by thousandths or 10,000ths of a second in some cases. I know our friends in Sanapod, they run to the 5th decimal place over there. Just because they want to?
Yeah, because they want to. I mean, that's splitting hairs. It's kind of like the records that, you know, you fastest white car that was built on a Tuesday, run on a Thursday, sort of.
Built by some guy named Pat.
Yeah.
with blonde hair and left-handed.
How'd you know I was left-handed?
I don't know.
All right.
It's a 50-50.
Yeah, it's 50-50. That's right. We've got King 4G back out here. Just off a nice, I think it was an 870 run, the previous one, 171 mile per hour. Let's see if the Team Karam garage can't improve on that. We're going to take our time. We're going to build the car up on the 2-step. Nice and aggressive off the line. That is a 158, 60 foot. Let's go all the way down to the big end. Oh, it's done that big half move. 890, 167, so not quite there on this one, but man, that's that takes some brave pills to hold on to that thing on the big end.
Well, just looking at it off the start line from down here, boys, that was smooth as silk off the start line.
It was a 158 to the
158, 60, yeah.
Dead straight, just that little bit of wheel slip to get the wheel speed up, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know it's coming.
Yep,
you know it's coming.
At some point it just goes past half track and it goes, Jesus, take the wheel. Well, big congratulations to those guys for getting a couple of consistent runs out as well, so that's really good to see. I can see the Galano car down in the staging lane, so I'm hoping to get another run there.
Still that sub 2 second 60 foot for the Area 51 car.
It's elusive. 11.0 at 125 in the rocket lane for the red VY Commodore. All right.
Is there anything you would do there to perhaps change that could be done with little, like not changing wheel sets and diff gears?
It gets a little bit tricky with that combination because you've got the IRS system. I don't believe Eden is loading the converter off the line, judging by the way that the attitude of the car is. I can't see it squat when he's in stage, so I don't think he's loading it. I think he might be able to try that.
Slingshot it a bit use the converter a bit more.
Well, yeah, just get a little bit more RPM on board with the converter to have it loaded up. I don't know the full combination that he's got happening in there. In some cases, it can be quite tricky where if you are a bit too aggressive on the accelerator when you're loading it on the brake to try and stall the car up, it might want to try and brake into a burnout, which obviously that's going to ruin your pass. The thing to try and solve that, what I used to do in my car before we had the trans brake, was yank the handbrake on. The thing that happens after that, though, is it puts a lot of stress on axles, tail shaft, coupling in the tail shaft, things like that. And that was basically one of the big issues that I had when I was running the 4L60 in the Commodore. Was we'd stall it on the handbrake, I'd let it go. 3 passes later, the big rubber donut in the tail shaft was just destroyed. It was just trying to twist it apart. So similar combination with Eden's car there, but it's all about just hitting the tyre a bit harder off the line there. So I'd love to know just what that combination is converter wise. I dare say it's probably a stock converter.
Definitely can't hear him trying to stall it up or anything like
that.
Through the track mics.
Yep. And being I know it's nitrous, but it's a naturally aspirated based combo, so it's got a cam that would be, obviously in its power band a lot further up in the RPM range than the factory one. So the converter will allow the engine RPM to come up, get it into that power range and get it out of the hole a little bit harder. But that's all testing and tuning and
086 on the tree for. Is it Dylan in the...
I think it might be. I think it might be our mate Dylan. 79.
79, yes.
79's a ute, mate.
I was just trying to wind back that half an hour.
If you get it wrong, you'll upset Matt on the Facebook stream. All right?
It's not intentional, Matt, I swear. 19.80 for Dylan, 69 mile an hour through the finish line. Till 15.37 with a 3.
Now, Bushy, I can see the Galano car coming through the tunnel. I think the Galano car is coming through the tunnel, and we know it's serious, and they're chasing a PB when you've got the crew pushing the car just to keep the temperature out of it and keep everything happy. So I think, from what I can see, this may be our last pass of the night. Let's have a look and see what the Galano guys can do. No, looks like we've got the BMW crew coming back around in the lanes. This is the interesting thing about this Galano combination. This is a Golf R, so it's all-wheel drive, but they've got some trickery. So Chris has figured out through those thousands of pages of logic and code how to turn it into a 2-wheel drive for the burnout, so you can get some temperature in the tyres, and then obviously engage the all-wheel drive system again.
Yeah, that was on page 10,042.
Day 465 of tuning the Golf. I found the 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive code.
166 to the 60.
Nice clean 60. 936 at 156. So definitely the 60 foot is the key there. for those fellas. I think it was a 140, wasn't it, when it ran the record? It was a 144 or something like that.
No, 154.
A 150. Yeah.
Sorry if we got that wrong, Adam.
Yeah, no, sorry if we got that wrong, but
we're running purely off memory, and we've watched a lot of numbers tonight.
Absolutely. And we are but simple men. Yes.
And we've both sat and looked at numbers all day long in our jobs too.
Yep. Yep.
We are numbers people.
Part numbers, payment numbers, dollar numbers,
credit card
numbers, all of those things. All right, so we've got the G80 Series BMWs back out here again. A bit more aggressive.
Nice light from the aeroflow lane too, Pat. 087.
087 is nice. A little slower in the 60s though, so a bit of extra wheel spin by the looks of things. Oh, 1099 for the Rocket Lane. Oh, and he's hung the hazards on him as well. That's a bit cheeky. That's a bit cheeky street action there. It's like hanging the laundry, dropping your chute if you're on the street with a, with a parachute.
Yeah,
the hazard
exactly
lights at the
right.
drag strip. Equally as disrespectful.
How do you like them apples?
How do you like them apples? Spot on, Bushy. All right, at 164 to a 2-0 in the 60. We've got the Rocket Lane is
being outrun by the moment, I'd say.
11-17.
Oh, 16 10,000ths across the finish line. No wonder I got that wrong.
Yeah. That was close. That was close.
You could say that.
Right, I think we've got maybe the ERS car coming back through the tunnel here. Yeah, we've got Jimmy back down here in the Rocket Lane with Evo King. You're going to give it one more pass down here and you race for real. A lot of wheel speed on board for Jimmy out of the hole, 160, 60 foot as he rose the gears on the way down in the Rocket Lane. Crosses for an 883 at 170 mile per hour. So another great pass for the guys. Not quite there on their previous record, but yeah, a lot of consistent running out there tonight.
100%, Pat. I think that's a wrap for tonight. Actually, the last car just down the quarter mile here at Sydney Dragway. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, all of our patrons that have come along to watch, all of our participants that have come out and made the evening interesting for us as commentators, the crowd that's here, and all of us that watched on the live stream platforms. I hope you've all enjoyed tonight, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, of course, for Roll Drags here at Sydney Dragway.
Absolutely, Bushy.
From 6 p.m.
We'll be back here tomorrow night for Roll Drags. We've got the new longer racing service out to 1,000 foot. We've got methanol fuel approved. We've got plenty of, until midnight tonight, discounted entry for spectators.
Yes.
So get on top of that. If you've got a quick street car, you know, maybe a pro street car, something like that, and you want to see what it can do on a roll, get on down to Sydney Dragway for Roll Drags.
Yeah, give it a crack. And if you haven't got a car that you want to race, but you just want to come out and get involved, the entry prices are certainly cheap enough.
Absolutely.
Here from 6 p.m. to around about 10 p.m. tomorrow.
Racing
evening.
from 6 till 10?
Yep.
And we'll get on it.
All right. Have a good evening. Safe travels. Pat and I will see you again here at Sydney Dragway very soon.